position, you could benefit like myself. I'm only 35 years old.
10 seconds.
I listen to Gen Xers all the time, and they make me sick to the stomach because they want to complain. They think we're in the industrial age,
Okay,
but
you
no.
got 10
But go
seconds.
ahead.
10
Thank you
seconds.
for that smile.
I'm due.
Hey, look at
Miss
this
Sylvia,
early wax.
we gonna get
Go
you in
ahead,
there, beautiful.
Box. You got 1 minute.
Smile. There you go. Thank you for that smile. How you doing? They look at the pearly wax. Go ahead, glove box. You got 1 minute. Introduce yourself. Share your thoughts.
My name's Goodbox. I'm in California, 49. Favorite drink would also be coffee. I do agree with the last individual that was just talking about, but I would say in regards to tariffs are a tax, right? But companies have different ways to play that. They can do it two different ways, or a few different ways. You can look at that additional tax and pass it on to the consumer, and your consumer may shy away from your product. Or you can use it as an opportunity to take market share away from your competition by lowering your profit margin to take in market share. You can offer a better value proposition to the person that you're selling it to. Because if everybody else is passing it on to the customer and Walmart's not, people are going to flock to Walmart, especially when they're looking for value. Now, in regards to what the other gentleman was saying, as far as America, you have to buy assets. That's the difference. That's why we have this K-shaped economy. It's because those who owned assets, and you have to ask yourself, when was the last time I bought an appreciating asset? Those who owned assets are not feeling the lower part of the K in this K-shaped economy. And a lot of people were telling these people, start buying assets, and a lot of people didn't listen. And those are the people that are hurting. And I would just say that.
All right, appreciate that, man. Hey, Miss Sylvia, how you doing today, beautiful?
I'm doing fine. How everybody doing on the panel? I just came up here to help the teacher out because he was working hard. He didn't want to lose his student. He wanted him to at least pass the class. And I understand wanting people to be able to pass the class sometime, but everybody's not going to pass the class. You know, some people we have to hold them back for their own benefit. So let me ask him this question, since he did not get the analogy that you were trying to put together for him as to who pays the tariffs and who doesn't. Does he understand, or does he have a clue as to why the big three, meaning General Motors, Ford, and the other company's name that houses those other people, why did they have to run the truth and ask him not to put tariffs on the products they use if it is the importing country who pays them? They would have just ordered up aluminum and everything else, because you know mostly everything on your vehicle comes from over there. Okay. So why would they need to get a what would be the word for it, a bypass on tariffs if it was China and whatever other country in which they get products from paying for the tariffs? Now, can you explain that, student? I mean, think about that, you know, because they couldn't afford to pass those tariffs off to car buyers because the cars cost already too much. We're already overpaying for the plastic. And now you're going to have to put the tariff off on us too. They wouldn't have been able to sell the doggone thing. The car's been sitting on the lot. So they said, Mr. President, please think about what you're doing. You're going to affect us. And if you affect the transportation industry, which makes the tractor trailer trucks, the 350 vehicles, and all these other vehicles you see, we ain't just talking about the cars sitting in your driveway. We talking about the cars that all of these industries use and vehicles that they use. So I'll let my point.
Glove box you.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hold on, because
I'll answer
it
that
was
real quick
addressed
like this.
to Kev real quick, if he wants to answer anything.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Well,
and you're right. I had it backwards for the tariffs, but that's also why I bought an American vehicle in 2023 beforehand. And then it's shocking, since Trump came into office, I was able to refinance my vehicle last month and save 2% interest on it. Wow. Couldn't do that before. Thank God.
There's no such thing as an American vehicle, Kev, and that's coming from someone who worked on the line and assembled.
No, you're right. Mine was assembled in Flint. I'm sorry. It was assembled. Yeah. Mine's an American company. I'm going to say that. Sorry. It's a Chevy. That's what I meant by American vehicle. I agree. It's not all American.
Assemble, and that's what citizens really need to play coach's attention to. You know, we only.
You're right. The stereo comes from, I'm sure, China. It's got Google running in it. I'm sure a lot of other parts come from everywhere. I agree, but it's a Chevy truck is all I meant to say. Sorry, and it was assembled in America.
It's assembled here too, you know.
Oh yeah, Toyota's assembled in San Antonio. I used to live there. They make all the Tundras right there on the south side of town.
Mm-hmm.
but Glove Box, you wanted to say something? Go ahead, man.
I was going to say this, Sylvia. As far as these companies running to Trump, right? If you got the man's ear, are you not going to shoot your shot?
You're right. But I use the example to say if the tariffs were not going to affect them negatively, there would be no reason to have to ask to say, hey, don't include us in that. If they were going to benefit from the tariff, they would have taken the tariff. But they weren't going to benefit. It was going to affect them in more ways than you know, because it's people out here that are most people that buy a car in America are committing to pay their salary for a vehicle, for a 1 year salary for a vehicle. Most people right now, the average person that's buying a vehicle is paying 1 year's salary for that vehicle, and then add in more by the time you put the interest rate and factor in the 4 year, 3 year, whatever year program they took to pay it off. So what I am saying, it would have cost people too much. They would have went to used cars, and then like they did a while back when people went to the used cars, they put the extra money over there on the cost of used cars because new cars weren't selling, but the used cars was flying off the lot. So they would have just increased the price of the used cars to try to make up the money for the people not buying the new cars because of the price being too high.
Other than the price of the vehicle being too high, is using American steel and American workers for all of it instead of getting it from overseas a bad thing? Other than the higher cost at the end for us. But is that a bad thing to get, to have a stereo made in Nevada and the steel made in Pittsburgh and all the parts actually made in this country and assembled and put together 100% in the country?
But we don't do that anymore due to waste and pollution, which is why those jobs were sent overseas in the 90s. Because growing up as a little girl, Flint, Michigan, Gary, Indiana, right, East Chicago, when a bunch of people worked in the steel mills in Chicago. That was a middle class lifestyle. My
grandfather worked in Gary's steel mills.
Her daddy worked over there at U.S. Steel. I mean, they made good money. Don't get it twisted. That was some good money in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but the steel mills also brought other things which made citizens want to kind of get rid of them. And then the steel mills, I guess, saw it was cheaper for them to have the steel made overseas and then shipped back over here. I don't know. I'm not, that smart to tell you about what Clinton and all of them did during that time. But that's when they left here.
Yeah, if you don't have to have safety and you don't have to pay a minimum wage, it's a lot cheaper to get it done.
My question is, y'all screaming about tariffs, right? So we always paid tariffs or taxes on things that came from overseas. Am I correct?
Yep, we have.
Okay, so name 1 year. Name 1 year in the last 20 years.
But that's inflation.
Prices didn't go up on products that we had over here.
Prices always went up. They just never went up 100 and 200%. That's the problem. No, you wanted the answer. I'm answering it for you. You asked the question, so I
don't think he was finished.
So regardless of what you saying, we always been paying tariffs, and tariffs been going up every year for the last 20 years. Am I correct?
This is crazy.
Prices do increase, yeah, and have been. Even if the tariffs didn't increase, I guess it would be fair to say prices.
So what you complaining about?
Well, I don't think we had tariffs that were ridiculously put into place like we do now. So that's what
part. Because you're seeing people pay about 150% more than what they're usually paying. Like before they paid last year, they're paying way more. Like at Walmart, there's people paying that. I used to pay like $50 worth of the stuff that I usually get for $50 for the last 6 months. Last month, everything came up to $100 and something.
Like
that's because of the tariffs. Shit went up.
Shit
went up. Laundry detergent went up.
Not 100%
What happened in 2024? Was the price the same in 2023? No, it wasn't.
The prices were way cheaper. So what are you talking about?
The only 2
Prices
years.
is way cheaper than what it is
Hold
now.
on.
So what are you talking about?
See, you
I'm
don't
gonna
know
show
what
you.
you
I'm
talking
gonna use
about.
something.
I looked it up.
J-Bo, you're
that
just
I
slow,
do-
bro. You're just slow.
that I
No,
do
you slow.
daily.
The fuck
I'm gonna
you
give you an
slow.
example of
The-
something that I
the
do.
Hold on,
price-
Sylvia. Sylvia, hold on.
the
Sylvia.
price-
Hold on, y'all.
I gotta
Give me
ask you
a
something.
second.
Hold
Hold on.
on. J-Bo, how much
price
you
has
pay
been up for the last 20.
Hey,
Hold on,
J-Bo.
dude, because you're
J-Bo,
not
how
even
do you
getting my
pay
tax.
Hold on, y'all.
Jabbo,
30 seconds.
hold on, hello.
Hold on a
Jabbo.
second.
Again.
Come on,
So
y'all.
let me tell you about something that I buy daily, which is coffee. Every day, and I got 3 or 4 coffee makers, but I'm gonna get up and I'm even walk to my local 7-Eleven just to get me a cup of coffee. Now I just made me some in my coffee maker over there because I walked the other day to the grocery store and bought some, but this is something I purchase daily. So prior to Trump, I could go to 7-Eleven, get a large cup of coffee with tax, and I'm gonna say extra large because I normally buy the extra large with tax for like $1.89. Now that cup is $2.59 before tax. So I started buying and I'm a rewards person, so every 7th cup is free. But I decided I didn't want to pay that big increase in the cup, so I started bringing my own container where I can get it for $1 something when you bring your own thing. And then I went to buying the bag coffee off of the shelf, which was $6.99 because that averages about $1 a day per cup. Now that same $6.99 is $8.99 for that little bag coffee in 7-Eleven. And the other day when I went to Dollar General and bought the discounted off-brand coffee by Cloverleaf, the big can, because I used to buy the big Folgers at Dollar General, which was about $7.99, $6.99, which now is $14 and something. And then Cloverleaf has went up to 11, almost 13, $12. Now that's just coffee because that's something that I buy on a daily basis. So I've seen how the increase have went up just that quick under Trump and his tariffs. So I don't do Starbucks. Ain't no telling what they paying over there now for coffee.
And we got like 3.
You know what's funny?
Right, so
That's
you're
interesting
right.
considering
I
those
just
companies
wanted- I
still
just wanted to
made
make
more than
something.
$2 billion
Hold on,
last
y'all.
year.
And we got like 3 new guests, Heavy.
And then we're gonna
and
get everybody
Lovely.
else.
We're gonna each give them a minute.
And then Nathan and then
We're gonna start with Heavy. I believe he was first to come up, and then we're gonna get everybody else in. So Heavy, go ahead, and then Nathan, and then Miss Lovely.
Well, my thing is that I cannot stand you Trump supporters. You guys come on here every day talking nonsense, talking about tariffs and higher. The thing is, J-Bo, you know you're paying 150% more. The thing is, no. The thing
Jabbo,
is,
just
you're
let him get it
so
out. real
smart.
quick. Just let
You're
him
so
get it
smart.
out.
Yes, I'm
Come
addressing
on,
you
Jabbo.
because guess what? He addressed
Come
me.
on, brother.
He asked a question, so I answered it. And he's getting defended because I was right and he was wrong. There's people like jigaboos like him that think they're always right. It's always people like him. Hey, Miss Sylvia, you know I love you. You know you keep it 100 all the way. You keep it 100 all the way. Lovely, hey girl. Hey, Con, it's good to see you, man. It's been a long time.
The average price of goods been going up for the last fucking 20 years.
But that's
And
called
then,
cost
let
of
me
living,
address this,
Jabbo.
Con. Hold on, before my minutes up. Let me address this, Con. The thing is, inflation was up 9% under Biden because of C-19. And the reason why is that because we were in a recession at that too as well. Donald Trump put us in a recession before C-19 even.
You got
Okay.
to
talk.
Let me ask Jabbo.
Can I
Jabbo, let me.
address? Hello?
Oh man, I'll be trying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know I started.
You got 30 seconds.
Well,
We gotta get
Conscious,
Nathan
you
in.
love the drama, don't you, Conscious?
Oh
All right,
man, I've
hello.
been trying.
Look, you have. Okay,
Hey, I'll
so,
be sitting there watching you in the back like the boss, the Don from the mafia family, letting all the drama happen. Boy, hey, hopefully your likes go up, hopefully your shares go up, hopefully the algorithm catch you, boy, because I know it is like content creation, but that drama sure enough make those numbers go through the roof.
Trying to get drama.
Trying to get drama. It's the fact that they're just talking nonsense. There's people affected by this administration, and next month premiums are going up. Next month, people are about to be affected by this. And you guys are not going. You guys are going to
So what's the solution?
There's going to be more.
So
Hold
give
on.
me a
There's going to
Remember
be more
what we said,
robberies
John?
coming. There's going to be more
supposed to
home
be
Hey, do me a
invasions
favor.
coming.
Hey,
There's
can
going to
you
be
give me
more
a
a lot of
solution
stuff
down
coming.
there? The one
And on
that's
top of
that's
that,
right.
ICE agents are
Hold on,
out there
y'all. Hold on
attacking
a second.
children and women.
Hold
You
on.
guys go
Right?
back
Can
in
you
the
give me a
60s. You guys go
solution
back.
though
Hold
for the
on.
average
Tasha,
person?
can you please mute real quick? Because back in that,
Abbo,
Miss Sylvia,
Hold on,
Miss
y'all.
Sylvia, am I
Hold on a
right?
second.
Miss Sylvia, am I
Hold on a
right?
second.
Hold on.
Man,
I gotta ask
Hold
rent
on,
to
let me
your
get a little
public-
control.
Go,
Stop,
go,
Jabbo.
go
Just
cry
let
to
me
your
stop.
local
Jabbo,
government.
Jabbo, just come on. Let Heavy get. You got 15 seconds. Then
Right.
we go pass it to
So
Nate.
Miss Sylvia, back in the day, didn't they used to kidnap black women and black children all type of women and fucking rape them and all types of other shit? And guess what ICE agents are doing right now?
All right.
They're doing the
They
same
been
damn
doing
thing to
that.
these
Okay,
women
they
and
They did
children,
that shit in
especially
Obama.
black women and black children. If you don't see what's going on,
All right.
J-Bo,
Come on.
All
you
right.
need to pick up a
Come on,
history
we
book
gonna
and
get
go
back
ahead
Okay,
and
y'all,
learn
stop.
history.
Stop.
I
I
don't.
counted out 15 seconds. We gotta-
Anybody
we gonna
don't
get back
like
in.
it, they can
Jabbo,
pull up
please,
on
come
me.
on, man. Come
Greensboro,
on, come
North
on. We gonna
Carolina.
get back into this. We just want everybody to get into it.
Nathan get in. We got.
That's all. We gonna get back into the shit, y'all.
Right.
Hey, don't forget me, conscious. I wanted to ask a
Nate,
question.
go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna let Nathan get in. We got 2 people ahead of you, so it's gonna be like 2 minutes. So write that down, man. Don't forget it. Nate, go ahead, man.
What's up, everybody? I answering the prompt. This is not what I voted for. This is not what I voted for. Honestly, I'm not happy with it, and this is where we should have been. We're not in the right direction, man. I don't think we're in the right direction.
Did that 1 minute. Appreciate that, Nate. Miss Lovely.
That's my personal opinion on it, at least.
See how we did that 1 minute. Appreciate that, Nate. Miss Lovely, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to make a comment. I'm gonna be quick. We've always implemented strategic tariffs when it comes to certain products, but we have not always had blanketed tariffs like we do now. Okay. And so when you implement blanketed tariffs across just every sector, it creates a negative impact. So it's kind of disingenuous to not, when you have this tariff conversation, to not acknowledge that we have different types of tariffs. One type works, and blanketed tariffs have never worked for us. And I'm gonna land there because I heard somebody say like we've always had tariffs, but you have to distinguish the difference in tariffs. One is beneficial to our market, the other one is not. And that is what we're experiencing now. These blanketed tariffs have not been a positive, have not had a positive on our economy or our wallets.
Yeah, that was the 2 people. Hold on.
All right, can I jump in?
All right, so that was the 2 people.
Yeah, that was the 2 people. Hold on.
So here's the question.
Where's Rich guy?
I got two questions. Right. Number one, we know all the problems. I think everybody on here is intelligent enough to know that there's problems. You can roll it out the mouth. You probably can do a whole lecture. Question is, I don't hear solutions. So if you can't give me a solution, you need to really kind of be quiet. Number two, most of you didn't listen to what the other guy said a couple of minutes ago when he talked about you're not buying assets that literally, see, you're not going to stop the rise of the cost of living. You can't do nothing with that. Make your vote Democrat, Independent, Republican. After you do that, how are you outpacing inflation? How are you competing with inflation? What are you doing to lower your tax percentages? Well, the majority of you idiots are not. You just trust your job's income and think that at the end of the day, that's going to sustain you. They're not going to increase your wages. So what are you doing personally? Because crying about what they're doing up there in Washington, D.C. doesn't stop the shit going on in your little household, in your little local town or city or suburban, wherever the hell you live at. So what are you doing to outpace inflation? What are you doing actually to compete with it? You probably don't even know the actual 3 basic fundamentals that an 8-year-old can know how to outpace inflation or lower your tax percentages. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, Conscious. Next person.
And hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Before we get into it real quick, I'm gonna let you go. But if you guys hear the screen, y'all know that sound. Please just stop talking. I just need to
All right.
make us an announcement real quick. So if we hear this, stop talking for me real quick. It ain't nothing personal. All right, we cool? All right, go ahead, jump in there.
Got it. So I just want to say this. So like what I am Rich is talking about is look, the Federal Reserve targets a 3% inflation rate every year, about 2 to 3%. Historical inflation for the last 20% for the last 4 years. You can't undo that. Even if you ran inflation under 1%, or at 1% below the standard average at 1.6% for 10 years, you're still not going to undo it. So that's going to be here forever. And the only way that you can do better is by buying things that appreciate. So when you spend time, you yourself and your time, that's a depreciating asset. You go to work and you get $1 for your wage, right? You get money for your wage. That's a depreciating asset as well. Then we go out and we buy like a pair of shoes or a car, and that's a depreciating asset. So that's a downward spiral. You have to do something to stave off the bleed. Okay, you have to start buying things that go up in value to offset the loss of value in what you're earning. The biggest scam is the idea that we go to work every day and we trade our time for money. Whereas the wealthy people, they go to work, they get their money, and they send their money to work. And then that makes them
Let me ask
money
you a question, Gladbach.
while they
Tell
work alongside it,
Yes,
or they retire and they
asset
just
and
make
a
money from their money.
So
Just in
let me
case
ask you a question, Gladbach. Can you tell the folks in the audience the difference between the asset and the
Married to
liability?
where you go.
Just in case of, a few people don't know, so they can have some kind of
Okay,
bearings on
the
where you
general
go.
way of speaking is you go buy a car for 50 grand. The moment you leave with it, you spent $50,000. The moment you leave with it, it's worth $40,000. It went down in value when you bought it, right? And over time, it's just going to continue to go down. Okay. Whereas now, let's say, for example, we'll use like a Apple stock. You put $100 into Apple stock, it's going to go up in value over time. For instance, in 2017, or we'll say 2016, had you spent $40,000 on a Tesla, that Tesla right now would probably be worth about $15,000. But if you had bought $40,000 in Tesla stock, you would have millions upon millions of dollars right now. And then you could go buy 10 Teslas if you wanted to. So that's the difference. You want something that's going to go up in value over time. So you can do it. I mean, sometimes people will invest in like collectibles, but then you have to
don't give
store them.
loans to buy stocks.
Yeah. Don't.
You can't
look
push that out over 7 years and pay monthly and get $40,000 worth of Tesla stock at the beginning, and that's why people can't do that.
However, Kevin,
right?
They don't give you loans to buy stocks. But one thing I would say that people can take advantage of, if Trump is going to allow you not to have any tax on overtime, what you could have been doing all along, especially if your job had a 401k, you could have been working all that overtime and maxed out what you could have put in a 401k. You'd have brought home more money. That would have been a way of getting to that next level. Like the man said, whatever you spend your money on, make sure it appreciates. Like even when I buy China, I'm gonna make sure that this is that it appreciates. Every dime I spend, like the man said, I try to make sure that it's going to increase at some point in time. Now, if my dumb kids don't come in my house just throwing shit away once I'm cold and they go to looking up stuff, they'll be saying, "Oh, damn,"
Right.
So I believe in what he is saying, because I used to sit and watch.
I agree with him. I agree with him completely. And yes, your 401k.
One saucer that my kids would be able to, if I can make this camera act right, be able to get just off this one little teacup saucer. Now, of course, it's got to go to the right collectible person, but you can't even buy this in a store. This particular design, it's no longer made. So, if they come across the right person that's looking for these pieces, then they got them some nice shit,
No, and I agree with him 100%. I'm just saying, to have an extra chunk of change to put into a long-term investment, 100% right. Also, if your company offers 401k matching and you are not putting the max amount you can put in there, you are screwing up. You should be doing that every chance you get. When you get a pay raise, half of that should go to the bank and savings.
Really quick.
But hold on, let me say this, Kevin. Even what you're saying right now, the opportunities, there's blueprints, right? When it comes to most people don't watch this. Most people's income right now in America, the average person is not bringing home $75K. That's the data. The average person ain't bringing home net $75,000 a year across the board. So if you know that your one income at the end of the day is not competing with inflation, right? Or you don't know how to lower your tax percentages, that means you're going to have to make an adjustment and you're going to have to do something else, which there are people doing something else. You're going to have to learn how to master the art of leverage, right? You got to get around people that actually understand the blueprint of how to play this capitalism, this game, and be able to add another stream of income that's not connected to your W-2, because getting another W-2, people think that helps. No, it doesn't. It just makes you pay more taxes. So you just got to be able to get around the people that do this on a daily basis, like the brother said over here, who that are not being impacted by inflation whatsoever. We outpacing inflation in the past 20 years just by you buying into an ETF, VOO, right? Which is the top 500 corporations. For the past 20 years, they've been doing 7% on your money. That's just one company. That's just one stock that you can buy into. And if you know, that's a bundle of stocks that's across the board, just spread out through all the top 500 companies in America. That alone.
I agree. Since my son was born, he turns 18 in February.
Hold on.
Since the year he was born,
Hold on.
I've had him in a Roth IRA. He gets his yearly max every year put into it. So it's just set up for him. So he has an income and a retirement already set up for him. So he don't have to worry about it. When he turns 59 and a half, he has that money just sitting there. And it's been collecting.
Wait.
I get
Hold on, Glove Box, because Lovely been Lovely been kind of quiet. She says she wants to get into the chat. Go ahead, Lovely.
I need to get in
Okay,
there.
this is the thing, right? When you talk about outpacing inflation, right? We got to remember everybody does not know how to like prioritize their debt. They don't know how to make a budget. You know, they may be poor or lower middle class, so they don't even have the money to kind of try to reduce spending because they may be spending all of their money on necessities. You never know, right? And so you have to include those people. And see, this is the thing, right? We have to remember that 2017 Tax Cuts Act that Trump passed in 2017, it cut corporate taxes from, I don't have it in front of me, but I know it cut it down to maybe like 21%. So we got to talk about over 10% of what these corporations would have paid into taxes. They have to pull blood out of a turnip from somewhere, and it's going to land on the lower and middle class, right? Just because people like Rich, Kevin, Glow, other people on this panel may have had access to that knowledge on knowing how to outpace inflation, you are leaving out millions of people, right, that don't have that education. A reality in our country is that we have people that are poor. We have people that are lower middle class. And it's very much so unfair to sit up here and leave those people out and say, okay, we're going to give corporations these massive tax cuts, and then keep in mind, they will forever be rich. They have generational wealth. But if you're going to sit up here and make it okay because you know how to outpace inflation, you're going to try to make it okay for them to bleed the poor and the working poor and the middle class dry, all because they want to make up for over 10% of tax cuts they gave people who are Nepto babies and have been rich since they've got here in these mega ultra corporations. And so I think when you all have these conversations, you should take into account the least of us because it all sounds very much so selfish. And as we know historically from the Reagan era, trickle down economics has never worked for anybody but the ultra rich. And I will not play right there.
Let me say this real quick to you, right?
Hold on.
I just want to say one thing to you.
Hold on, I am Rich. Let me get in here. Because I think that I don't know if she think that it's always been a poor class. So let's not get this screwed or unconflicted. So my thing is this, like Am Rich said, and a lot of others said, y'all have to learn how to make a different income. And not only what they were saying about stocks, investing in stocks, bonds, and different things, but y'all also can invest in.
J-Bo, I got a question. Where are these?
Hold on, you gotta let J-Bo talk.
No, y'all see, that's the thing.
I'll tell you.
I'm talking to J-Bo, and I'm being very respectful.
But I'm saying, J-Bo was talking. I was gonna come after J-Bo.
I wasn't talking to you. My question to you is, J-Bo, where are these poor people supposed to get the money to invest in stocks?
Like I said, again, they can get with individuals. Like I said, y'all spend enough time on this app instead of going. Y'all don't spend enough time. Y'all can actually look it up. YouTube there's so many different aspects, or you can invest just 10 funky ass dollars.
But you know what? That's what I want to say, J-Bo.
Go ahead.
J-Bo,
I am rich.
let me just say this, right? I'm a 35-year-old man, right? I started at 25-year-old. I'm from Alabama, below Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, your
All
rent
my
is
folks
fucking
in-
not even
all
worth
my
a
folks-
potato.
Hold on
So your
now.
rent
Come
is
on
not
now. I
even
didn't
worth the
disrespect
fucking.
you.
What the hell?
So at
You
the
only
end of
pay
the
a
day,
sack of
all
potatoes
my
for your
folks
rent.
drink.
So you think you live in Alabama?
Listen, man, you
that
gotta let
explains
me
your
finish.
living wages is minimal. Like you don't pay shit. You pay
Okay.
fucking what? A can of corn at 50 cents, 75 cents.
I don't know
You
what
can
you're
go to a
talking about.
fucking
What
neighborhood
are you
store
talking
and
about?
get
What are you
shit for
talking
hella
about?
cheap.
You don't
Bro,
even
you
know
live in
what he's gonna say.
Alabama.
Let him talk.
Your
What are you talking
your
about?
source of income is like a sack of corn, a sack of
Yeah,
potatoes.
listen. Hold on, J-Bo.
This
J-Bo,
shit
hold
is
on.
crazy.
You
to me.
cannot
No,
judge
J-Bo,
other people because
J-Bo,
guess what?
hold on.
67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Listen.
67%
So to
of
the lady, lovely
Americans
down.
live
Hey,
paycheck
can you
to
mute? Hey,
paycheck.
Conscious. Come on, Conscious.
Everybody's not
I
gonna
don't
know
want to
about stocks.
disrespect your
Everybody's
live, bro. I
not
want to
gonna
be
learn
respectful.
about
Oh, yeah,
stocks.
hold on. Let's keep
That
it
is for the
cool.
Okay,
rich.
so I'm not
Because
talking
rich
about stocks.
people benefit
I'm
off
not
the
talking
stocks.
about stocks.
People like you don't
Can
benefit
you
off the
shut
stock
the
because
fuck
guess
up
what?
Come on,
man?
y'all.
You
Hold
can't
on.
even
Let's
afford
keep
it, not
it
even
cool.
1%.
Hey,
You and
guys,
Jabbo not
guys,
even
Shut the
guys,
1%.
fuck
guys.
And
up,
I'm
you
sure none of y'all
faggot
don't
ass
get paid
bitch.
more than
All you want to
$500,000
do
a
is
year.
run your
Not even
broke ass mouth.
$200,000
That's
a
why
year.
you
Remember
Not
that
even
ready to
song?
talk.
$100,000 a year.
Remember the
It's
sound?
crazy
Remember
to
the
me.
sound,
Blow your
guys?
brains out.
See,
'Cause
you're
all
getting
you
mad.
do
Why
is
you getting
Oh,
mad for?
Lord.
Because
Lord.
Hear
because
that,
you
y'all?
You
get
guys.
Alabama, your
Remember the
income,
sound? Remember the
you know, you
sound,
only pay
guys.
$20 per hour. You still
Oh,
exist.
Lord.
I have family members in
Hey,
Alabama that live
guys.
good.
nobody cares
Because
about
guess
you
what?
broke
Your
ass
rent is
niggas.
fucking
Everybody blow your
expensive.
brains out. I mean,
The fuck?
seriously.
What's the three branches of government
Shut
then? I
the
am rich and
fuck
Jabbo.
up, you
Remember this
How does the
sound?
government work?
Hello. Let me
Come
ask you.
on, come on. You
Damn.
can't say that, man.
If this what you like,
Come
Connors,
on,
right? So
man.
I'm
You
gonna blow it
don't
up.
think so?
You want this
don't.
faggot ass nigga
Gotta
talking
drop
about
you
bringing no
the-
value?
Oh,
can't
so
say
you're
that,
an
man.
educated,
Come
I'm an
on,
educated gay black
man.
man. You're not.
Then you got
Are
these
you that
black
mad?
bitches up in here, man, that's talking that dumb shit, man. You got all these black.
God damn.
Are you that
y'all.
mad because I just hit the ceiling fan? Like, bro, I just stated facts about you. See, you black men get mad about facts. You black men,
Hold on a
straight
second.
men hate gay black men
man.
because we fact check you guys. You guys don't know shit.
Hello.
Calm
Let
down.
me ask you something.
Hold on a sec.
Let me ask you.
Hold on a sec. This is the host.
Talk to me, you fucking snowflake.
Calm down.
Hey,
This is the host, y'all.
A little
We gotta be
coach,
cool,
like, a
man.
little bit.
TikTok is dropping people left
Let's
and right
try
for
and
little
you know,
BS.
think
So
of some.
let's try and keep it a little kosher. I know we like to get a little bit heated,
You don't say that.
but let's try and you
should say, but I'm saying.
think of some illiterate slang.
No, you good.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand.
Like if you're gonna say that, say
But we
maggot.
gotta-
Not saying that you should say it, but I'm saying like,
Yes, please.
Sorry, conscious, but they don't
no, you
understand
good.
stocks.
I understand.
I understand stocks is like
but we
the
gotta-
game.
Y'all up here clowning. Can y'all tap the screen?
Right,
I mean,
right. But conscious.
Can tap the
Stocks is
screen.
like-
for conscious.
Stocks is like stocks is like
Heavy, let me do a commercial. Hold on, baby. Hold on. We're gonna let you get back in it.
Hold on.
Y'all go
hold
ahead
on,
and
hold
tap
on a
that
second.
screen. Sure, this live. I mean, tapping is free. I mean, I don't.
There's an Amber
I
Alert.
don't want you.
But
to,
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Hold on a second.
I don't want you to get corporal tunnel for tapping, but tap. You know, just tap
I'm
real
gonna tap
fast.
until I get corporate.
So, yes, sir.
People and so we can keep this going. And all right, now don't get the live taken down, y'all. Watch your language
ahead.
and stuff.
You had it,
I
and
was over
everybody
here
else
enjoying
on there.
the nonsense. Okay, go ahead. Keep tapping. Go ahead, conscious.
Go ahead, Heavy. You had it. And then everybody else jump on.
Stocks is a hit or miss. There's gonna be times those stocks. The thing is, Donald Trump and his friends have a plan right now. And when those stocks start hitting, they're gonna take them stocks and not leave you guys with shit. That is his plan, and they're going to leave this country with those stocks. Y'all think this shit's a game? They are paying you guys. They are paying you guys. Just like Mother Goose, they are playing you guys.
Hello.
You guys are getting played.
Hello. Let
Like
me ask you.
pawns.
Hello. Can I address you? Hello. Or
Like Donald Trump used you guys. Remember he said no new. No, I'm still talking. He said no new wars. Remember that, but he bombed Nigeria. Why did he go bomb Nigeria? Why did he bomb Nigeria? Venezuela and Nigeria, guess what? Have the same in common. Rich in oil. Rich in oil. They both have a lot of oil. They both get lots of money from oil in those two countries.
You worried about
But you know what I'm gonna say about that is I'm very shocked that mainstream media is not really talking about that. I've been, running between CNN, MSNBC, BBC, and none of these mainstream medias. I did see a little mention of it on BBC, but I'm just shocked that none of them are really talking about this Nigeria thing. I had to really go to online news to really get some information. That's just kind of strange to me. So I thought that was strange.
Can I? Hello, I just have.
That's how I
Can
know exactly my
can I
research about
address
it.
you?
So I'm trying to
Hello.
figure out why
I
he,
just wanna
you know,
ask
why
you-
he did that on
Love you to
Christmas.
speak, man.
Why is he going over to
Hello,
Nigeria?
let me
I thought he
ask
was
you
for
something,
Nigeria.
man.
I thought he was going to partner, you know, but all of a sudden he's doing the opposite, the way he fucking campaigned on. Like this shit is crazy.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
the election over with. Quit
Do you
crying.
consider yourself one of these the percentage of people that just don't have the means or to like invest and stuff? Do you consider yourself? Oh, you're not
He
addressing
racist.
what I asked you. though.
That sound racist
But-
to me.
Okay, but you're not addressing what I asked you. When you talked about these people who don't have the means to invest and stuff like that, are you in that category or no?
Yeah, he in that category.
I'm not in that category. Thank you very much. The thing is, I don't
Okay.
choose to do the stocks. I don't choose to do it because
Okay,
guess
okay.
what? I'm not going to play with my money like that. I don't play with my money like that. I'd rather go to the casino and play with
Then
my
that's
money. If
your
I'm gonna play
problem.
stocks.
Don't
It's
hate
the
on
same
somebody
damn
else.
shit.
that
So
wanna
check it
invest.
out. Listen,
Don't hate
let
on
me just
nobody
say
else
this.
that they
Look,
wanna
look,
invest.
hold on a second. Look. This is the thing. All right, what like the other guy was talking about. Anybody, right? Anybody can just go get on DoorDash, right? And instead of being on Netflix, right, or instead of being on Hulu, or instead of being on TikTok, you can go sign up.
Worry about what other people are doing with their lives. Worry about your own life. Worry about your family. Everybody
Listen,
else's
Hold on
life.
for a moment, Heavy. I
Okay.
get where you're going, Glove, but in
listen.
order to do DoorDash, you need a car. And you need
I
car
understand.
insurance. And you need car insurance.
Right.
So don't say
Right.
anybody.
And Glove, I want to tell
I
you what
don't know. They
happened.
got
Hold on,
programs.
What
They
I'm
got
saying,
pro-
though,
Hey,
hold
Glove.
on.
what I'm
They got
saying though, I'm
programs like
giving
you
this
can
as
use
what I'm saying is
Teslas for
Yeah,
that.
but you're
man.
giving as an example, but to
So
say
what I'm saying is I'm giving that as an example. Like for instance, Sylvia, you used to pay $2 for your coffee, $1.89, what you were saying before. But then when the price went up, you went and bought it at the store, and now you're paying like 14 cents a cup if you make it at home. So you can make adjustments. Any way you slice it, there's a subscription cost to most things, like Hulu or Netflix, right? There's a subscription cost to wealth, and Kevin knows this. If you look at it like that, all you need is about $8 a day. Okay, so you can cut back $4 a day and do one side gig a day for $4, and you're
What are people
done.
to do? Look at a black screen? What the fuck talking about Netflix and shit? We're gonna watch a black fucking screen? You sound crazy.
And I just want to speak to Glove, and this is like a true story.
what Glove says makes sense. Because like he said,
Good. I think you
I
wasting
either
the
keep
energy
going to
talking to
7-Eleven,
I know,
Let the
man.
people
spending
I
have
$2
know.
a
let the
day.
people have
It's
that
often
poor
like
But no, but the
mindset.
thing
most
is,
of
you
the time,
gotta.
Let they have that
Did she
poor
say
mindset.
Hold on, can I
Let they have
a lot of
Can I
people,
respond to
They
Glove for a
manifesting
moment?
bullshit.
99% of the time, J-Bo, it's
Glove,
rejected.
can I respond to you for a moment? You're absolutely right.
Sure.
I can
Everybody can't
continue
go.
to spend $3 a day for a cup of coffee, or I can go buy the big inexpensive one,
Right.
knock that down to 14 cents. Now, for most people who are living check for check, those are the things they need to do. But then it'll be a little minute before they can save, because now they'll have to take that savings and help pay off another bill that they have, which is how they should really work it. This is one of the
Right.
reasons that you are not taught budgeting in school, because as a corporate American company, I need you ignorant. I need you dumb.
Well,
when it
correct,
comes to-
Sylvia.
hold on, let me just finish. We need you to be ignorant and dumb when it comes to money, make money. The dumber you are, the more money Walmart is going to make, the more money Shein is going to make, the more money TikTok is going to make, the more money Amazon is going to make. That's what America is built on.
What?
So you're going to have to be dumb, because see, nobody who owns McDonald's wants to pay their employee $25 an hour. And if we're going to give everyone a living wage,
You know what's funny?
then that
Hold on.
hamburger is fixing to cost
Let
you
me get in here.
$50 for a Big Mac. Because the
Hey,
person, hold
Sylvia,
on, J-Bo,
come on,
I'm
man.
talking. Why are you trying to overtalk me? Have some decorum.
Because what you saying,
the
what you
average
saying
rent
is
in America right now for a studio apartment, even in the hood, is $1,500 a month. Now this is average rent.
Sure is.
Now you tell me what a person needs to earn per hour just to keep up with the rent. We ain't talked about light, gas, or water.
or transportation
I'll tell you who. I'll tell you who. Hold on.
You want to sit here and talk shit.
Hold on, Sylvia. I'll tell you who. You see, we the only race of people. It's fucking so crazy. We the only. Hold on.
Behind this shit too. If you think white folks ain't having a damn problem,
damn, bro.
We think someone is talking about black people.
Sylvia, let J-Bo talk. Let you finish.
Sylvia was talking. Y'all about to let her speak.
Let me say something.
You let your mom finish. Let her finish. Let her finish. You let your mom speak. Let her finish.
TikTok, guys. Calm down, Jabbo. You got 1 minute, man. Please don't interrupt. Let's keep, because this is a good conversation that y'all having.
We the only race of people, and this was so crazy. You don't see the Spanish on this app crying about fucking all this inflation. You don't see those fucking the J people crying about this shit. Because you know what they do? You know what the fuck they do?
Miss Sylvia.
Hold on. They come together. 4-5 people in one fucking home. They
Hold on,
together and they pool their resources together. But we the only black motherfuckers that don't do that.
Hold on a
That's
second.
a fact.
No, it's not a fact.
That's a fact.
It's not a fact. They're struggling too. There are fucking businesses struggling all
Stop
neighborhoods.
disrespecting black male.
This is all neighborhoods. I'm a black male. You're a white male. Why are you in the fucking black state?
You
Go to your little white state.
They do it YOLO and then cry about it.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, I'm saying.
Press the government, J-Bo.
Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. I know. I'm just saying. Lovely's gonna get. You got 30 seconds left. Then let Lovely get in, y'all. Go ahead.
But like I was saying, you see the Mexicans do it. You see mostly all the people that come over here. They come together. They group up. They come up in one household. You might see 15 Mexican people in one fucking home. They pool their resources together and then they go buy trucks, cars, houses. Like, come on, bro. We the only group of people that think that we so then y'all sit on here and worry about inflation and all this. Y'all just come together, 4-5 y'all come together in the home and pool y'all resources together.
Yeah, I was
like it don't make no fucking sense.
You really make no
sense. Plenty of fucking sense. It make plenty of sense.
Like you wasn't raised in the fucking house with a whole bunch of people boy by.
Yeah, I was again. And guess what?
Had the same at your house, aunties, uncles,
this was so funny.
Cans, all of that, motherfucker.
This was so
Don't try
funny.
to blame on Mexicans and shit.
That was so funny. My family went poor because you know what? My grandmama had 17 kids. And all of them stayed up under the same household. All of us.
You talk about Mexicans, about how they're stacked up in households.
All of them end up buying homes. Hold on. All of them end up buying their own homes.
Lovely next. You got
all of them end up buying their own cars, boats, and everything.
So Lovely, go ahead, beautiful.
Kick rocks with all that, bro.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm just going to say this. I'm originally from Alabama. I'm originally from Alabama. I live in Central Virginia now. And I live in a predominantly middle-class white community. So if I'm here to tell you, it's not just black people that don't want to come together on certain issues, because where I live, they throw their parents into nursing homes. They don't come see them. My little neighbor, I think I done fed her more than her own children. So let's not make this a black thing, because when it comes to people, it's okay. When it comes to people of color, I say the issue is with us is that a lot of times we are too welcoming, and they infiltrate our community and tear up our community. But that's just that still. But someone mentioned DoorDash and Uber and things of that nature. You have to also factor in it takes gas to do those things. Car maintenance. I have a friend that is being sued by her Uber rider right now because somebody hit her car in the back. Right? She neglected to add the rider's insurance to it, or the rider's insurance on the vehicle, whatever. So she has to pay for a almost $3,000 repair simply because she had a rider in the back. So you have to understand, you got people that only have one vehicle. They don't want to take the chances of doing Uber, Spark, DoorDash, and Lyft with their one vehicle and risk being in an accident for a $7 ride or $7 order, right? We have to increase the minimum wage in this country, which is $7.25. You can't even get a combo name one place you can get a combo anywhere for $7.25. I can't think of one.
Sure can't, because guess what? Doesn't McDonald's have that little $6, $7, $8
$5.99 but Burger
It's not
King.
even $5 anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy work. And you know what's crazy, Lovely? I have family all down south, right? And the thing is, they all have jobs, good paying jobs. But guess what? Their wages are not going up, but everything's going up. Grocery prices, rent. They still got bills. Daycare. It's like a lot of shit. Like they're not paying. Like the red states, these Republican states that you guys think they care, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. You got to say all the blue cities in the red states not doing nothing because guess what? Who is funding? The government gets the funding. They're supposed to give it to those mayors of the cities, and they don't do that. They give it to other bullshit, just shit they don't need.
I know one thing. Everybody that I tried to get them to buy houses at least 4 to 5 years ago, I know they regretting the fact that they didn't listen to me.
And what's funny is,
I noticed
McDonald's. We weren't raised off of fast.
I noticed
food. Get your ass in the kitchen.
A long time ago, I was raised.
But that's the thing, J-Bo. That's the thing. I cook, and it's just as expensive as eating out now. My grocery bill has gone up $320 a month.
So what I was going to say is I noticed that when I stopped worrying about things I couldn't change and like the government, stuff like that, like big government, and I started worrying about my own economy, that's when things started to change. When I started asking myself, what
about fucking everything, but when shit happens, you guys just
we don't give 2 fucks about what y'all agenda is. It is,
bro. You're worried about what black people are doing.
About your own house.
J-Bo, you just talked about black people, how they sleep in their house. They got 17 people, but you just said you was raising 17 people in the house.
Because Glove was talking. Hold on a second. I'll finish out real quick.
This is what I'm trying to explain. All right. When I'm trying to share something with you, it's not me being selfish. It's me trying to share what worked for me because I came from
That's
nothing.
Selfish. We don't give a fuck what worked for you. Go to therapy.
No, but see, this is
we
what
don't
I'm
give
problem
a
is.
damn.
Is when people like Hello, and I'm going to use Hello as an example, they jump in.
As an example, bitch. It costs money. Send me a galaxy. Send me a galaxy to use my name. Send me a galaxy or I'm suing you. Send me a galaxy or I'm suing you. Send me a galaxy or I'm suing you.
Or absorb it.
Don't say my name.
They talk over anything that they don't agree with, or they talk over anything that they don't understand, when other people might be trying to absorb some of it. So it's people like this that prevent other people from getting ahead.
And it's people like you voted against us, so I don't give a damn. Snowflake, I don't care. You voted against us. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Hold on a second.
That's selfish.
I don't care. You're selfish.
Okay, because we got a new person on the channel.
All right, we're gonna go down.
What's going on, Dad? Dude, before you get in, I want to ask y'all a question. It is just
Got a minute to talk.
yes or no question. All right, we're gonna go down the panel. We'll start with Jabbo and with that dude, and then that dude. When we end with you, you got a minute to talk. My question is, when you vote, do you vote for your interests or do you vote for your fellow Americans' interests? Jabbo, starting with you.
I vote for my interests.
Okay, how about you, Kev?
My interests.
What about you, Miss Sylvia?
When I'm here, I was just on the other side of my thing, and I'm making me a sandwich. But I vote for the interests of the community because I can't survive without the community surviving.
Okay, how about you, Heavy?
Community.
How about you, Nathan?
Try to vote for the community as well. I tried my best to.
Part of the community,
Okay,
so
appreciate that, Miss Levin.
Mr. Cash, look, Glove. How about you?
Honestly, both.
Both. Okay. I mean, you part of the community, so you ain't wrong. Mr. Cash, Luke, Glove, Guru. How about you?
When I vote, nationally in like a presidential election, I vote for the country. When I want to vote for myself, I vote in my interest locally because those are the things that affect me.
Before you get
Okay,
to
I
that,
got you.
I
And
want
Dad,
to
do
thank
answer the
everybody
question, and you got a minute to
who
do
are
a
in
little
here. Please
spiel.
tap
Tell us a little about
the
yourself or
TK.
whatever you want to say, and then we're gonna get back into it. Thank you.
Dad,
And before you get to that, Dad, I want to thank everybody with 20 people who are in here. Please tap. Let's get to 20 cases. We got 20 people in here real quick. Dad, do this on you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Coast. I vote for my interest, but the caveat to that is I think we all have very common shared interests. I think a lot of us share the common interest of prosperity, happiness, ownership of property, things of this nature. So, to say I vote for mine, I think, I'm voting for everyone's along with that. But what I'd like to get into is, I've been listening for 20, 30 minutes or so, and there's some people on this panel that are very eloquently trying to deliver some information that could be very helpful to other people. And those on the panel that seem to know the least about the subject matter that we're discussing are the loudest. So please try to filter out the noise and absorb some of the information that
Name a politician that helped your community out, because I know you're coming after me. So name a politician that helped your own community out. Name one. Name one. Name a Republican politician that helped your own community out. Name one.
Wait.
No. You brought me up, so name one.
Nobody brought
you
you
white
up.
people love to play victim, so name one.
Why do you think he's coming after
Name one.
you?
I'm waiting. You want to have? You think you're book smart? Name it. You said you want knowledge, right? So name me a white politician that's in the Trump administration or any Republican that helped your white communities out and all the white poor people in your community. Name them. Name them. I'm waiting.
Yourself of being the least
I'm waiting.
You have.
Y'all from the black spaces. I want to know about your community. Name them. Name them. You love to bring up. You love to play victim. So I'm asking you. You said that.
What is your question, man? You're like a broken record. You just repeat yourself
knowledge about
over
the white Republicans that's helping your community
out.
More
profound. You repeat yourself over and over. You think that makes you more
because
profound?
I'm answering the question. So I want to keep on repeating the question.
State your question, and I'll deliver a very articulate answer that will make
you know how she's actually 3 times more. So I'm asking you. What has any white Republicans have done for the white community that you live in? Because you are not in the 1%.
Hold on, we're gonna have this one out.
You don't know shit from Shinola about me. Number one. Number two.
If you was in the 1%, you would be on TikTok arguing. You will be in a business at a fucking conference right now.
Hold on, we're gonna have this one out. We're gonna because it seems like you're.
No, I'm saying
he's
about to answer. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna go back.
But let's have it.
Oh no, hold on, don't let him pivot from that question. Can you name a white?
Yeah, he's about to answer it. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna go back and forth with this.
I'll be glad to answer.
All right, and then that dude, y'all gonna go back and forth.
I'll be glad to answer, but here, understand this. I'm going to pivot back to the subject matter that the panel was discussing because that's really why I came up. But I'll answer the gentleman's question, or not so gentleman's question. Here's the answer. The area I live in is and has been historically a very impoverished area. If you want to make something of yourself where I live, you have to move off. What has happened within the last 5 years is there has been a $6 billion investment by a major corporation a domestic corporation in this country. They are going to build and manufacture the next generation of vehicles in my backyard. That was done by these white Republicans that you like to mention. Oh, by the way, the area that they are building this in, the biggest beneficiary to property values go to African Americans. So African Americans in this area have seen their property values quadruple since this announcement was made. So I'm not going to yield to you because I'm going to pivot back to a subject you even know less about, which is monetary policy and inflation. It is
no.
We're not blatantly clear.
You just said they built more plants, right? So they're building more plants instead of homes.
You do not know why inflation even happens.
Now you sound
back, man. Just let me give Mr. Denali here. Thanks for coming up, Kevin. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking.
Hey, what's going on, Conscious? And see Dad Dude is up here and everybody else in the building. What's the conversation? I just got in here.
They were talking about money, but Heavy asked him name the Republican politician that did what. I ain't hear that answer.
that help the communities, the poor and middle class white communities.
Did you answer that, dude? Dad, dude.
I clearly
articulated that dude. What did you say they built?
I clearly articulated
So they built more plants instead of homes for your community, right?
I clearly articulated the historical reality of the area I live in. I also articulated an investment that was.
So what state is that, sir? What state do you live in?
Bring in
a
corporation to manufacture vehicles. I also articulated how African Americans, property owners, have increased their net worth by quadruple.
Please bring that up, because 500,000 black women have lost their jobs, and 100,000 black men and more are losing their jobs. So
I have a question about this investment. Are you talking about the ones in Georgia?
Negative. That's not a domestic corporation.
No, I'm asking. You said that where you live. I'm asking if you are in Georgia.
No, you asked a question, and what I said was this is a domestic corporation. What you were referring to is Hyundai.
No, I was going to ask because, what's the name of the domestic company? Because I wanted to look it up. I wasn't
electric company.
Because I know you got who invested up? What's the name? It begins with the R. Invested like $6 billion in 2024. I don't have it in front of me. That's why. What's the name of that company?
It would be called Ford Motor Company.
Ford
Motor Company. That's correct. So, alas, the gentleman or not so gentleman asked, how have people benefited by this announcement, by this construction? African American property owners have seen their property values quadruple in value.
What is it called? Wait, hold on. What is it called? Because I'm trying to Google. Because you're not about to Ford, what was it called? What's it called?
Finish.
You said Ford what?
You
raccoon, shut up. Ford. Con. Ford what? What did you say?
Calm down, yeah. We got.
Let the man finish his point.
Let him stop talking.
No, you shut up.
I'll be quiet.
Let the man finish his point. Conscious, why can't the man finish his point?
He is gonna finish.
What did you say, Lovely?
Stop talking, please.
Lovely, what was it called? Ford.
I got a question.
Have you heard of Ford Motor Company, sir?
Because I'm pulling up. Yeah, I have, but I'm reading up on how they didn't. Ford just took a $19.5 billion hit.
But why can't the man finish his point so that you guys can understand?
All right,
let him finish.
He made it very clear, Denali.
Let him finish.
Thank you, Denali. Good to see you again, Denali. It's been a while.
Go ahead and finish. Thank you, Constance.
So, yes, you are right, Lovely. They did just take a $19 billion hit. Guess who didn't take that hit? The taxpayer, the property owners in the county that they're building in. They didn't take that hit. Their property value quadrupled. Again, that's quadrupled in value. So some of the biggest beneficiaries are the African American property owners that are the predominant demographic in that county. Okay. So the question was, how have white Republicans benefited your community? And I'm telling you right now that it wasn't just me. It was also the entire community that has benefited from their net worth increasing exponentially.
First of all, you said you're from a dominant white community, first of all. Second of all, you never lived in the black community. Third of all, you're lying. So therefore, like I said, your community, sir. You keep on bringing up the black community. I said your community.
You know what?
But we're speaking about us. We'll be fine.
Hold on a sec, y'all. Hold on a sec.
Because you guys are so up far as Trump's ass. Like, you guys can't sit it out.
Hold on a sec. Guys. Hold on a sec. Remember, if y'all hear the scream, that means stop talking. That dude, out of your community, what was the percentage of black people being? What you say?
56% of black African American in the county.
No, in the specific community that benefited. Is the whole community that benefited, or just that specific area?
The community that the construction site is the closest to is probably more like 85% black.
If you help us out,
Hey, dude, I'm trying to get clarity. Are you talking about
Go ahead.
in Michigan?
Yeah,
I'm trying to get clarity there, dude. I'm really not that, dude. I'm really not being rude. Are you talking about in Michigan?
Negative. No, this is outside. This is outside of Memphis, Tennessee.
All right.
Oh, guess what? I know people from this TikTok that live in Memphis, sir. And I actually have my aunts in Memphis. They are not. They're not doing nothing. They're doing nothing to the black communities. They're not even helping. Those white people are not helping the black communities. They're actually hurting it. They're actually helping their own selves. They're doing their own fundraisers. They help their own.
Nobody cares.
There's those rappers and stuff. Those rappers are helping their communities. Why you piece of shit like
Okay,
I got salad with your
hold on a
ratchet
second,
ass.
Let me say this.
Don't let him get y'all out y'all game.
Let me say this, if I could, very quickly. He wanted to bring up rappers in Memphis, buddy. I just sat down across from Tommy Wright III 3 days ago, excuse me, and had a conversation about the National Guard being in Memphis. You know what Tommy Wright III?
Because I don't know who Tommy Wright is. Hold on a sec, y'all.
You know what Tommy Wright III had to say? You know, I was really skeptical about the National Guard, but they've really done good since they've been here. I can walk out on my porch now, and I don't worry about shit. That's from Tommy Wright III, the author of a song that's called Running and Gunning. So don't talk to me about rap, dude. I was running laps around you.
Dad, the dude, let me ask you a question. Is the National Guard a permanent fixture in Memphis?
But it is helping to save lives.
Mr. Denali, I'm not talking to you.
Well,
because I grew up an hour and a half outside of Memphis, Tennessee, so I'm asking you. I am not talking to you. Have some decorum.
Save lives. Black lives are very important.
Oh my fucking God! Let me go back on
this black blood that's being spilled in the streets, and I don't care what Donald Trump. I don't care what Donald Trump's motivation is.
Hurry up and let's get the National Guard down there in Georgia.
It has to save lives, and that's what it's doing.
You guys, Sylvia, let me say this, Miss Sylvia. No, the National Guard is not.
I'm not asking you an open-ended question. I'm asking.
I have a fact check.
Is what you see going on in Memphis, is the National Guard going to be a permanent fixture there on your streets, or is this a temporary fix?
10 minutes.
Hold on.
This is going to be temporary.
So what is going to be the permanent solution?
Why don't Mr. Conscious, can I just say something real quick? You know,
hold on, let him finish, Denali, and we're going to give you a minute. Hold on, we're going to give you a minute. Let him
you say you from Memphis, is that correct?
The area, correct.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember, it's been about over 10 years. I know a personally who committed a horrific murder in Memphis, stabbed a young lady, I don't know how many times, in front of her children while they sat in her discretion overnight. I don't know if you recall that. They were actually from a small town in a neighboring state and had moved to Memphis and had been living there for several years. So what is Memphis going to do? Because I would like to see a permanent fix in Memphis, Chicago, and every other community where I see my young people leaving here before the ages that they should leave here. So this is not a permanent fix. What do you think a permanent fix would be?
Well, it's a very good question, and thank you for asking. It's, you know, the answer is multifaceted. So number one, you've got to have enforced laws that are on the books. You can't have a worm DA that lets people out and 2 weeks later they're right back to the same things that got them in there. You've got to enforce the laws. We had a law in Tennessee. This was a state law that any crime involving that of a pew would get you 10 years, no questions asked. They need to bring back that law, number one. Number two, this is going to have to start with the educational system as well. You've got to give people an outlet other than the street. That's number two. But most importantly,
I give Mr. Denali.
You've got to hire the right police force. Okay. Memphis right now is way understaffed.
Let him finish because we got to get Mr. Denali in here. I'm glad he brought that up. So this last incident in Memphis where your police pulled the man out of the vehicle, beat him down.
You're talking about Tyree Nichols, right?
Yes, paramedics showed up. They rendered any camera, so no one is lying on those people. But instead of Memphis using their own citizens to hold that trial, you all went all the way down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, brought in a jury that has not been harassed by these police officers, because I believe the community had complained about this gang of police officers for the longest, at least on the black side of town, and how they were being treated. So can you explain to me why Memphis went and did that? Because those officers should have been prosecuted based on what we saw.
So those officers were prosecuted. You're talking about the Scorpion Unit, which is a dedicated gang unit in Memphis. There were 5 officers that pulled Tyree Nichols out of his car and beat him to death. That's a fact. Each of the 5 officers that committed that crime were all the same color as Tyree Nichols, right?
Okay.
So we don't have anything there. Now, secondarily, the reason they moved the trial to Chattanooga was because this was front page news for at least 3 months in this city. There wasn't a person in the city that didn't know some aspect or influenced some way by social media. So yes, in order to get a quote fair trial, you had to get outside of the city in order to do that. Now, those officers were prosecuted.
So, Mr. Denali,
They were prosecuted, and you know what? They were found innocent. I wasn't on the jury board, but they were found innocent.
found innocent. But if it had been a Memphis of their peers, which should have been the citizens of Memphis, they wouldn't have been found innocent. And see, when you allow police departments to do that, then you can't really, to me, complain about the crime coming from the community. Because if you're going to let police commit crimes in our face, what do you expect the community to do? They're going to do the same thing.
Good question. Go ahead, Mr. Denali. You got a minute and a half, man. We extend a little longer. We're going to give you a minute and a half, brother. Go ahead. Still there.
Thank you, Conscience. I don't care what Donald Trump's motivation is. Do I think it's noble? Probably not. He probably does want to embarrass some Democratic leaders. But if it's saving lives, then I'm for it. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Black blood is being spilled in the streets. So I want to save lives. I mean, if you're for Black lives, why would you be against more law enforcement to help save the lives of people that are losing their lives with the Black blood being in the street? It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you be against it? I don't understand it. Can somebody explain to me why would you be against saving lives? Same way I talk about abortion with the Black women. They're the biggest serial killers on the planet. We need to save lives. Okay? And if you're against that, then I'm against you because saving lives is what's most important. You understand what I'm saying?
Wait.
What is that, Conscious?
No, I'm just telling the ladies to wait.
I like how
I'm not even gonna feed it.
They were cool, Mr. Denali. I had them.
You don't have a response. Why are you talking?
Go ahead.
I would like to comment on that. I would like to comment on the Ford
Be
investment.
quiet because I'm not done.
Go ahead. He got one more minute.
Yeah. So
go get rid of this baby wise talking. I'll be back from my AB.
Come on, y'all. Don't get his minute.
Time come on these panels.
Shut up.
Wait, come on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let him get his minute.
Y'all, let Mr. Denali finish. The women on the panel, we're not even feeding into that. Let them finish.
Now, you guys, my Democratic friend said he's not sending them into red states or anything like that. He went into Louisiana. He went into Memphis. Last time I checked, they had red or Republican governors. You guys always talk about, well, what's the permanent solution? These Democrats have been running the cities, and what have they done to save lives? I know you're going to say, well, crime is trending down. Like they said that in D.C. The first 34 weeks of this year, they had 110 homicides. Tell that to the people who lost their lives that crime is trending down. When the National Guard got into D.C., they went 16 days without a homicide. To me, that's 7 lives saved based on the fact that they have been there. And I think the rest of this year, I think they went from 110, and I think they had 60 more homicides, if I'm not mistaken, in DC. So I'm for it. You guys are not. I don't know how you can say you Black Lives Matter if you're not going to support saving Black lives. More law enforcement helps to suppress
Don't
crime.
feed into it, Miss Sylvia. Don't feed into it.
I can't take Denali serious because Denali was one of the first panels I was ever on TikTok while he was denying being a Trump supporter, but sounding Trumpish the whole time. And I used to tell him that he was Trumpish. So then he finally got the courage to come out after the election when Trump won because he was scared. He thought he might have been supporting a loser. So he didn't want to tell nobody who he was supporting really, but I knew his ass. Denali, you're saying exactly what I would think of you.
I filmed it. We voted for Trump before he won. What are you talking about?
I got a sincere question.
He actually told everybody before the election who he was voting for.
Well, it was at the last minute. His ass went under the skate.
You said that I was a Trump supporter, but how can I be if I voted for him before the election? Tell me that.
Listen, you wasn't on here talking about you were supporting Trump. Now we can go back because
No,
I've been
I
on
said
this is my year anniversary on TikTok. Coming up in my
No,
year anniversary.
you said that I was
We don't care
scared.
about
Mr. Denali is never scared of anybody. Okay?
We don't care about that.
Who you talking to,
Jabbo,
son?
and you listen. Let me tell y'all something.
We don't
Let me.
care about
You
who. I
are
voted
you
for Trump.
and
We
Denali
don't
are the
care.
reason that
We
Harry
don't care.
had to
We
have
don't care. You don't know what Harry took.
equipment she
Shut
carried
up.
with her.
You don't
I
know
would
what
love to
Harry
get back
took.
on this Ford investment because I have
You don't know
questions.
what Harry
Oh,
If I was in
all right, y'all got
charge,
30 seconds and then we're going to give it to
You ain't
Lovely.
when we
Y'all
got
hear that?
things
Hey, yo, stop
together
talking.
again,
You
I
ain't in
would be
charge.
putting you and
You ain't
Denali
in
in
charge.
jail. Y'all would
You
be
ain't
in
in
prison.
charge.
I would
You can come
imprison
do that now, Miss
Calm
Sylvia.
down, y'all. We
You
ain't
can do
put,
that now.
we
I
ain't
would
put none of us in
Denali
Bring
prison for
your old
talking.
ass on down here.
Calm down, y'all. We're not putting
I would love to
anybody.
get back. I would love to get back to this
because I
conversation.
got
I
my
would love
Tupac,
to.
I got
Bring
my
your old ass down.
Okay,
I
y'all.
got my thug on.
Girl,
Where
hush,
you at?
man. Sit your old ass down.
Don't hurt nobody, Miss Sylvia. It's
What
silent.
is Denali going to prison?
Don't hurt
Miss
nobody.
Sylvia, I wouldn't even have said it today. I promise you.
Yeah.
She said I got my thug on though.
Yeah. I want to get. I want to
Sylvia,
get back to this
Sylvia, hang on a
conversation
second.
about this
Please give me 1
investment.
second. Miss Sylvia, why are you going to put Mr. Denali in prison?
We don't care.
Who cares?
Talking about
Hey, who cares?
No, I'm asking
What are you
you,
talking
why
about,
why
man?
would you put me in prison?
You and
Yeah.
Jabbo, you ain't gonna be there by
Why?
Yeah, you can put
I'm
me in
asking
prison
why.
now.
because y'all are traitors.
Yeah, I don't owe you nothing, so I haven't been
I
a
said
traitor
you're a
to you.
traitor. You don't owe me
I don't
nothing,
owe
but you're
you
a traitor
nothing.
against
I
the
don't owe
United
you
States of
nothing.
America.
I don't owe you nothing.
You owe this country something.
I don't
Get
owe.
your
I
ass out
was
of
I
it.
born? Was
You
I
don't
born
like
with
it?
you?
Get out of here.
Was I
Get out of
born
here.
with
You don't like our country, leave.
So I don't owe
If
you.
you
Jabbo,
don't
shut
like
the
our
fuck up,
country,
bitch.
leave.
You are
You
a
shut up.
coon. You are a jigaboo. You don't know the true branches of government. You don't know how the government works. You don't know. You can't even name one black
Man,
person.
stop talking to
Oh,
Jabbo
you're
like
in the
that.
closet
Man,
anyway.
stop talking to Jabbo
A lot of
like
you
that.
Trump supporters are in the closet anyways.
Ma'am,
This
stop
is the
talking
Grinder
to
app
Jabbo like that.
crash once again after Republicans finishing up the Capitol.
I would love to get back to a productive
I think she about to
conversation.
pull up in a minute. I'll show you how beautiful my old lady is.
When you hear the
The
scream,
lady at the
you go
bottom.
silent.
It's lovely.
Noise means
When we hear the scream, everyone goes silent. I gotta remember you. Miss Lovely wanted to finish the discussion. I wanted to say it was about Ford, right? Look, Jabbo.
Well,
down.
Yeah,
Jabbo,
I wanted to talk to Dad Dude about.
One on the gifting list. I just wanted to say that.
So,
I'm
Dad Dude,
listening.
I will
I'm listening.
acknowledge. I will acknowledge you were correct as far as the area being predominantly black, which is Haywood County, correct?
Haywood, Fayette, Tipton are the surrounding
Okay.
counties.
Oh, okay. So they're building it primarily in Haywood, which is predominantly black. Fayette County is predominantly white, right? So I mean, it's kind of even when it talks to as far as serving the community. But what I was interested in was what they would actually be building there, which was because they decided to invest in 2021, September 2021, right? And I don't know if you recall when Biden implemented those strategic tariffs on foreign EVs to give American-made motor companies a chance to enhance their EV production. So I was reading up on this while everybody was talking, and how that particular plant was being built to specialize in these EVs. But fast forward to now, when I said earlier about that $19.5 billion hit. Did you know that hit is solely coming from Donald Trump's policies that are basically trying to change up on the demands and things for EVs? And so it's actually costing Ford Motor Company a lot more. And do you think this is just my question? Do you think because that plant was initially intended for EVs, they decided to make that investment because of Biden's strategic tariff on foreign EVs? Do you think that what Donald Trump is doing, is it going to have a negative impact on as far as the employment of that plant, as far as like the running of that plant? Because it looks like they're going to have to change, as far as instead of just making EVs, like from what I was reading, they're going to have to go into like a let's see, it's killing electric vehicles. Go back to it. They're trying to turn it into like a gas powered site or something like that. So do you think that Donald Trump is going to affect any of this?
Hold on.
these new policies
Lovely.
as far as the employment?
That's a good question. A lot
You
of
have
would.
some of the information right,
Hold on.
but you're wrong on
So
some.
what did I have wrong?
Hold on,
Hold on,
I'll
'cause it was
lay it
on
out
Ad
real
Dude.
fast. Nathan, piggyback off of me if you want, please. So,
All right.
couple things. You're right. 2021, right? And take yourself back to 2021. EVs were not only the hottest equity in the market; they were all rocketing at that time. But also, a lot of people were buying EVs for their personal cars. Fast forward 4 years down the road, you can't hardly give one of these things away. You literally can't hardly give. Nobody wants an EV. It's probably a little bit of tech before its time. And moreover, it's not, the joint venture was between Ford Motor Company and S&K Innovation. S&K is the battery manufacturer that was going to produce the batteries for Ford. Because of the demand got a bad echo, because the demand has plummeted, Ford has released S&K from that binding agreement. So that's good for the community at large, because now S&K can produce batteries for any automotive manufacturer, whether it's Ford, Chevrolet, anybody. They can produce those batteries.
What?
You're gonna have two plants there. You're gonna have Ford that was always
So building
intended
plants in the black neighborhood, that's helping the black communities in your community.
Hold on, babe. I want him to finish.
Yeah, please. Wow. Okay. So the plant was always intended to be a dual role for them to be able to flip from combustion to EV manufacturing. Right now, they've announced that they're going to launch the plant as a combustion engine factory. All right. Because the demand has plummeted. They can't sell the Ford Lightning. They're having trouble selling the Mustang EV. Tesla runs laps around every other domestic manufacturer when it comes to EVs. So that's the demand has plummeted, not necessarily any policy that we implemented.
The economy is crashing. Nobody can afford a car.
Say that's not true. That Ford runs laps around anybody that makes EVs. That is not true. Ford, just like General Motors, just recently got into, once COVID came and they made that announcement that all manufacturers as of 2020 something, I think it was 23, 24, 25, would start making electrical vehicles, because that is what is safest for the environment. But I understand that the gas company still runs things, and if you as citizens are okay with polluted air, constantly breathing in these things, wondering why your younger generation has the cancers and all of these autoimmune diseases and deficiencies that used to then be in young people, but as technology has continuously grown, then we have been exposed to these hazards a little longer. So you'll get what you ask for. That's all I can tell you.
Right, and on top, sorry, Ms.
Let me just finish. So we were headed that way, but since Trump got in, we're going back, I guess, to drill, baby, drill. And so if you don't look around, these are the things that I look at and I pay attention to. Now, I'm not the sharpest pencil or crayon in the box, but I just look at my 62 years of life and what life looked like prior. I'm looking at these storms are getting worse. I'm looking at certain places that didn't have certain issues So we can deny global warming and all of this other shit if we want to, simply to make our stocks and bonds go up so that we can be richer, because this is why we deny things, because we benefit. So if your benefit is, if you don't give a damn about any, so I wonder if a lot of you all even have children and grandchildren that would be left here after your head gets cold. Because if you did, you would care and you would want to leave them a world the same way that you had it, as opposed to just take advantage of the world while you live and fuck everybody else once I'm in the ground. Y'all do the best thing that y'all know how to do. I mean, because that's what I hear a lot from you all.
Yeah, so, let me ask you a quick question.
Let me say this. So you wonder why we got a lot
you heard
of
the Black Queen speaking.
I believe when you're steadily taking things out from under the ground that is supposed to be there, you change the dynamics of the Earth's crust and core. So this is why we're going to be having these that we're seeing. earthquakes that we're seeing,
Absolutely.
when we're having war like we're doing, and these
Yep.
heavy boom booms are hitting the ground, causing vibration, which is going to go down thousands of feet, that is causing these problems. So if y'all are blind and don't know how to connect the dots,
Hold on.
keep up with it.
Hey, you know what, Miss
say-
Sylvia? Hey, hold on, Gaddu. Hold on, Gaddu. I got a question for you, Gaddu.
Hold on.
I got a question
Let them
real
get in
quick.
real quick because we have Sylvia. Let them get in. They got-
Hold on, Gaddu. So,
hold on. Let that do.
Okay, but
So, look,
no. It was
back
a
before we
conscious.
get
It was a
too
question.
far.
from
It'll
Miss
take
Sylvia. I
10
want to ask you a
seconds.
question
It'll take
to add
10
on to
seconds.
Sylvia.
10 seconds. So I just wanted to say, Sylvia, I'm amazed. I've learned in this panel, I've learned that you are an industrial manufacturer expert. I have learned that you are an economist and a monetary policy expert. Now I just learned that you are also a geologist as well. Like, I got to tell you, like, well-rounded. Kudos to you.
Ain't nothing the black
So
woman
my thing
can't
is, you
do.
Trump supporters. Let me say something to you. 90% of you Trump supporters were in the No Child Left Behind. A lot of you guys were, because guess what? Scientifically, Sylvia is right. They said in 2020. They said in 2020 and beyond, you will start seeing shit that you never seen before. Global warming is real. Al Gore warned us back in 2001 when he ran for president.
They said we were going to run out of oil in the 90s.
So the thing, hold on, I'm not done talking. Scientifically, they said we are going to be out of fishes. There's going to be no fish in the sea by 2028. They're going to start disappearing. Guess what's happening right now? The fish are disappearing. They are disappearing. They said more earthquakes were happening in certain places that there's no earthquakes that never happened. Why am I echoing?
No idea.
I don't know either. So the thing is, scientifically, Sylvia is right. And my question is the dad dude. You said that they're building the plant, in that neighborhood and stuff. What are they going to bring back into the neighborhoods? Because it sounds like to me they're getting richer. They're trying to take away from the poor and build a poor and get. Listen, dad dude. This is what they're doing. They're going to make sure that all these people don't have a home to sleep in. They want to move us out into somewhere where the hospitals are not at, where there's no city limits. They want us to move us nowhere where they think we won't survive. But black people were raised on surviving. I don't know about you white people, but I know my ancestors taught us to survive off of two things of foods. The thing is, we can survive off of meat. I mean, any type of poultry, as long as we have a poultry in the refrigerator. Any type. Miss Sylvia knows what's up.
Any way you slice it, poverty around the world has declined exponentially over time. It has never been as low as it is today. And you can thank capitalism for that. Going back to Ford said they're taking that loss because it's not electric vehicles where it's at. They said where the consumer is at is in a hybrid vehicle, a dual function vehicle. They don't want to do that, but they were forced to do those to meet regulations to be able to sell in different, like California regulations and stuff like that. So they took a hit because they said, we're not going to chase where the consumer isn't. The CEO was just on 3 days ago and he stated that almost verbatim.
But you guys didn't answer my question. I asked how are they going to bring back into the communities? What's this doing? What's this doing to the communities?
So they've already
building this plant. What is it going to do?
They've already begun development of.
It's not creating jobs because guess what? Guess how long it takes? How long does it take to build a plant? How long does it take to build a plant? Up to 8 years. Up to 8 years. If he starts out 1% to 2030. So what jobs? What jobs?
So you disagree with
what jobs?
What you're saying that what you're saying is you know more about Ford than the CEO.
What? No, I asked you a question. How is this going to affect the community? Is it going to positively? Is it going to be a positive effect or a negative effect?
And then we got.
Can I take this one? Let me take this one real fast. Let me take this one.
You've been quiet.
Hold on. I want you to remember when I started. Talking. I said that growing up in this area, if you look to make something of yourself, you had to move away. You had to move to Nashville. You had to move to Atlanta.
You are right. You don't live in a black man or a black woman's shoes.
No,
you don't understand what it feels like to be black. That's what I'm saying. You voted for Trump, you're a racist piece of shit.
Nightmare, you're not listening. What he is saying, because I grew up in the area outside of Memphis, what he is saying is that there were no jobs. So you had to leave your home, just like the people that grow up in my town. They have to leave and get
right. But Miss Sylvia, the black community.
Now hold on. That's for black or white. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying. But why were they building the black community though? The dominant black community. That's why I'm not understanding.
They always are going to build a factory in a black community.
Hold on, Miss Sylvia. Hold on.
They're not going to take white land and do things like that.
Look, if he would take 5 minutes to Google, he would learn that this project.
Sir, I'm not going to take no advice from a white man, no advice from a white snowflake.
Look, all right, then don't listen, Miss Sylvia.
Bro, you gotta let him finish.
I went and looked up what you were saying, and you were exactly right, because I worked for Ford here in Kansas City. So the one thing I will say is that I'm glad that you guys got that plant, because that's jobs, and that's a lot of jobs, because one plant runs every day of the week. And it runs if it's going here. Hold on, Nightmare. Hold on. That plant, if it runs the same way it runs here as well as Detroit, it's going to run 3 shifts. It's going to run an A crew, a B crew, and a C crew. So that, and per shift, that's going to be about maybe 500, 600, 700, maybe 1,000 people employed, because you got a line you got to run, you got stock. You probably, they're gonna have a warehouse somewhere with the stock. That's people are working over there, and they running all 3 shifts. So whatever they do, whether it be combustion or electrical, which I kind of like the combustible electric engine myself, because Toyota on their oh God, I can't think of the name. They have one of the best. Prius, they have one of the best electrical engine and gas and electrical engines out there. I mean, you barely had any problems with maintenance on it and all of that, because that has been one of the biggest problems with the electrical batteries. What was it going to cost? How long it was going to last? And what would be the impact on a everyday ordinary person?
But Miss Sylvia, what he was saying is he doesn't give a fuck about the black communities. Build it up there. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, he's a racist ass white piece of shit. He don't give a fuck about the black community.
Bro, you can't
because guess what? The plants are not going to do nothing but negatively affect the black community.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But Nightmare,
it's not going to do jobs. It's not going to do none of that, because it takes 8 years to build a plant like that.
What I understand is, regardless of what his racist ass thinks, as you call it, black people will be able to apply for those jobs and get some jobs. Now, they may not be the biggest represented at the plant, but
allow me to
hold on. Let him get 30 seconds in, and then we go on to Nate, because Nate hasn't had a chance to talk in a minute, y'all.
And I encourage anybody that lives in that area that is black to apply for the job. It's a good paying job. They even pay for you to go to college. Now, you're going to take a bunch of shit off of them white boys, but, get in there and get what you there to get, and then get on out.
So here's the deal. Thank you, Sylvia. You see downrange. You see over the horizon, and you're right.
I'm not agreeing with you, dummy. She's not agreeing with you, so don't try to think she's on your side.
You got a lot of feminine. You listen at all. You got a lot of feminine.
You thought you won?
You listen at all?
You got a lot of feminine.
No, you white people. You guys own this fucking shit. Y'all don't own shit.
All right, so here it goes.
Let's not make
let's build a plan. Let's build a plan in your white community. Let's build a plan in your white community. How would you guys feel? How would you guys feel?
Nightmare.
But we all gotta have a
shit is getting a little annoying, bro. We want to
talk. No, the thing is, conscious. My family's affected by this.
I know.
There's people's grandmothers affected by this. This is not a joke.
Hold on.
Nobody's taking it as a joke, but we all still gotta converse, bro.
And especially
if we want to change, hold on. If we want to change their opinion, we can't always be down their necks. If we were a dog walker, we really can't be down their necks. You know what I'm saying? I won't say kill him with kindness in a sense, but just, you know what I'm saying?
Kill him with kindness. The thing is, he just said this is gonna impact the black community. Building a plant in the black neighborhood. So what? Put people out their homes. To build a fucking plant, a rich man to build a plant, a rich white man at that. To build a plant on top of a black people's neighborhood.
Will you mute this clown?
No, I'm a clown because I'm speaking the truth about my community, sir.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm a clown.
Stop, please stop. I don't like mute.
All right, snowflake.
I think
fucking Flintstone motherfucker.
All that exchange we just lost 10 people.
We all adults here. I know it can get
Y'all saying.
heated sometimes, but we
And
gotta
we
cool
having
down. Like we literally, with all that exchange, we just lost 10 people
Nobody's gonna hear
because
it.
they can't hear what y'all saying. And we having a good conversation, but if y'all keep jumping over
I tell
each
you what,
other,
y'all just take
nobody's gonna hear it. Then I'm gonna lose
it in
people.
for a minute, and then we go.
We all want to hear it. All right, so just. I tell you what,
I'm
y'all just
down,
take a
Heavy.
calm breath, let Nathan get in for
Thank
a
you,
minute,
Heavy.
and then we
Like
go.
literally all the
I
shit
can't
I
stand you
just
fucking
said means
snowflakes. I cannot stand you guys. You guys
Down,
fucking
Heavy.
ruined this
Shit I just
country.
said don't
Ever
mean
since you guys
nothing.
came and
Thank you,
stole
Heavy.
this fucking
Like
country,
literally, all
you
the
guys
shit I
ruined this
just
fucking
said
country.
means
Your
nothing.
ancestors,
Do you
through
listen
lots
to
of my
All the shit I
anything?
just
ancestors,
said
know
don't
my
what?
mean
ancestors
nothing
taught you
to
all how
Do
to
you
you.
clean,
listen to
wash your
anything at
ass,
all?
know how to do science.
Have,
Y'all didn't know how to do math right or
we know
nothing
that, brother.
without my
But
ancestors. You
we
white
know
people
that.
ain't know
We know
shit.
that, brother. But
I'm so
damn,
done with these white fuckers.
Jesus Christ, just
All
mute
right,
up.
I'm gonna get this in real fast, and I got to bounce. I'm not gonna eat up my Saturday with this right here. But here's the deal: if he would take 5 minutes to look, he would learn that 98% of the ground this is being built on, or that is needed for water runoff, was agricultural land. Nobody lived on it. Nobody was forced to move. It's in nobody's backyard. It's literally row crop.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on,
Another
Secondarily,
neighborhood they could have built off that was the same
secondarily,
thing. You just want to
secondarily,
look like you
also
white
Ford
shit.
is
Go ahead.
Ford is
Hey,
already
come on, bro.
beginning
This shit is getting
construction.
a little annoying. Fuck. Go ahead, man. I'll bring you
Also,
back up.
Ford is already beginning construction on a huge new high school in the community. Okay. Now we're talking about a community that is the second lowest rated educational proficiency in the state. All right. So they are investing directly not only in the high school, but also building a technical school in the county as well. So they are investing in the youth to be able to work in this community and stay in this community, which what I said was at the very beginning, if you wanted to make something of yourself, you had to leave. There was no opportunity here. And this is great because Miss Sylvia said it, like these jobs are going to be $75,000, $80,000 a year jobs at not even a job, a career at this plant. So this is a good thing. And here, I'm going to end with this. If they're calling you a racist because you're just throwing out facts and spitting things that are true and beneficial, it shows you that they're boxed in and they got nothing left.
All right, go ahead, Nate. Get it in. No.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Nate. Get it in. No.
All right. So Dad, dude, talking on this point, would this also add construction jobs?
Accurate.
Yeah. So this would be adding construction jobs. This would be adding a whole lot of different types of jobs, like not only just including manufacturing. So we need to be figuring out how to be bringing more plants here. Like we shouldn't be building them over people's houses and stuff like that, of course, but we do need to be figuring out how to bring manufacturing here so we can become a lot more self-reliant. That's at least my
You're a
thought
racist
process
piece
on
of
it.
shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're still a racist
Bro,
piece of shit.
Colin,
You're
is
not
that
right.
all
Because
you
guess
got,
what? If it was a
dog?
white
Is that all
neighborhood,
you have?
you'll be fucking black people this, white people that. Fuck you, fucking white pieces of shit. If you voted for fucking Trump, you're a white racist, period, point blank. Especially if you're a white man.
Thank
Because
you
guess
for the
what?
information
He's fucking
tonight, man.
campaigning off of
so
white
grateful to learn
racism.
from you that I'm a racist.
I'm so sick of you white people. I'm so done with you guys. I'm so done with you snowflakes.
You can't have
I really am.
Dude, you're
and
the
you
snowflake,
jigaboos
dog.
that
You're the
follow
one that
them
can't
and
even
shit.
shut the fuck up for more than 3 seconds.
Because when you can't come around it, like you can't be
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't cuss them out and then
Damn
just
it,
keep
look.
fucking coming around. If you sick of them, you can't come
Please
around.
stop
Like you
recording.
can't be
They
that
keep on
sick.
coming to our black spaces.
God damn
And y'all
it.
can keep on reporting me. I don't give a fuck.
Please stop reporting each other. Please, y'all. God damn. Can't we just have a cool
Oh boy,
discussion?
I'm so glad to learn that I was a racist there. So grateful.
All right,
What the heck?
calm it down. We got to.
God damn it. Excuse my friend.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
All right, but let's try and calm it down.
All right, this is a good time for a PSA. We
Yeah,
got 33 people in the chat, guys. We've been having a good conversation. Let's go ahead and get Conscious up to 30K likes. He does have a gift goal at the top of the little dinosaurs. It's a cute little Santa hat. I think they're so cute. If you guys could go ahead and knock out that gift goal. If you like the panelists, give the panelists. Whatever the panelists get, the host also gets a cut off of that. So even if you give one of us, it's still showing him love as well. We only got 14 shares. If you guys can just take a moment and share out the live, I would appreciate it. We should, with 32 people, we should easily be at 100 shares by now. Tapping is clapping, sharing is caring. It is a beautiful Saturday, and you all could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here and listen to our loud asses. So we appreciate you.
All right. Let me get in here. I think it was a couple points that even Sylvia said something about global warming and all of this here. If you go back in history, why was the dinosaurs destroyed? It was because of global warming.
It's the Ice Age.
They got
That whole thing is a theory.
Well,
We don't even know what
they
really happened.
yeah, they don't know what really happened, but they assumed it was like a meteor shower or something.
So the world is constantly evolving. So you gonna sit here and tell me if it was destroyed in the Ice Age, and we're gonna sit around and blame it on global warming?
They weren't destroyed in the Ice Age, though. The theory is that a meteor hit the Earth, and then it caused the Earth to have a change in like its ecosystem, and that's what brought on the Ice Age. But they don't really know. It's just a scientific theory, though.
So basically, it's just their opinion. That's what they say.
Scientific opinion, basically, yeah.
Okay, so
You know what?
so basically,
Indirectly-
all this global warming is just their opinion, right?
Well, no, actually, global warming is a real thing. There have been studies to show that to the study sheet over time.
So you believe everything science say?
I mean,
I
they
believe
conduct
common sense.
experiments and common sense. Like,
I don't believe it. I don't believe in pseudoscience.
look at what's
No,
going on in Antarctica. Like, there's a crisis right now because they're talking about like how the polar bears, their habitat is basically melting away. So
y'all
global
believe
warming
everything
is a
science
real
say.
thing.
Y'all believe everything scientists say. Am I correct?
No, you have to believe it to
I don't
be
think that's what I
evidence.
said. I think that's what you're saying.
Hold on, you have to believe it.
You
No, you
mentioned
have to-
dinosaurs
Yeah,
earlier,
I
right?
went back. Basically,
Hold on, let me-
the Ice Age.
How do we get on
Why was-
dinosaurs and global warming? The two are not
it's
even
really
mutually
important.
exclusive.
Because no, not at all. The dinosaurs are the cause of it because they're all of the oil, and we've been pumping them all up and burning it in the atmosphere. So the
Dinosaurs are not the cause of it. Human consumption for oil is the cause of it.
My next question is.
I wish
He's not incorrect. He's not incorrect.
Y'all asses in Sir Curtis.
My-
let people
Hey,
talk.
what's funny is, what's next is, what EV is made without oil? Name one. That you can actually produce without using oil.
None yet, because we continue to be
Matter of fact,
spraying.
name some products in your house right now is made without oil.
None yet, because we continue to constrain other forms of energy production. But
Let's
that
say
being
you win
said,
that. Let's say your argument is correct, Jabba.
Well, he's correct because it's
still
on purpose.
what I'm saying. Let's say it is correct. So that's why we need to roll back on using it in vehicles.
What?
As far as using it to power the vehicles, there's probably always going to be oil in the motor to run the pistons and everything else as a form of lubrication. But as far as there's probably always going to I mean, I want to have more clean air. If you all don't realize what to tell you, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist or have studied science, all you got to have is a little basic common sense.
Well, you just have to have house etiquette. I mean, because basically we are using the air and the earth and the oceans as our wasteland in more ways than one.
Jabbo, if you don't eat lunch, like how do you know when you need to set a lunch time, set a time to take a lunch? How do you know that? Personally.
Because I was hungry.
How do you know when to set your lunch time every day? Like throughout work. You know what time you need to take a lunch, right? How do you decide that?
My stomach
No, but when do you eat though? When do you eat?
But so your body does not give you any indication when you need to eat or drink some water.
Just
Actually,
because your
it
stomach
does.
growled, that don't. Just because your stomach growled,
Sometimes when
that
it
don't
do,
mean you.
I'm good, y'all.
Okay, so I'll take that. No, I'll take
No,
that.
that's
I'll
a
take
fact.
that. I'll take
Hunger.
that. So,
but
so
sometimes
even
when it
given the
do,
fact that I guess you're conservative, even with the amount of food
Not
nourishes
that's not
itself,
conservative. That's
you
just
know, obviously how far you can go before your ass is starving, right? And it's probably because evidence to every single day was a certain measurable thing, feeling, sense, something you could sense that would indicate that this is the case, that I need to put food in my damn mouth. That right there is science alone. It's evidence-based conclusions being made off of analysis of experiment, your physical body, your physical world. That is science. So it's not the case that you have to believe any of it. It's not a belief. It is a evidenced truth to be present. So I think when you continue to say that we shouldn't believe science, like it's just kind of flawed all the way around, it's not a belief system. Science is a metric system.
Science also believes the big boom, the big boom theory. I'm not
The Big Bang
But
Theory.
Jabbo,
boom,
if
big bang,
it doesn't mean you're hungry,
you know what I mean?
You mean they
Big
found
dog.
evidence to support a theory about how the world was created, and that may be one of the conclusions that has been drawn from said evidence. It doesn't mean that that is a universal truth. Have you seen evidence of it being universally true? No, you haven't.
but
This is just the evidence you've seen.
Alex and Jabbo, on your last point that you made, Alex and Jabbo, if your growling stomach doesn't indicate that you're hungry, one thing it indicates is that your stomach is empty. Because when you have food on your stomach, it does not growl, and when your stomach is growling, hold on, since you don't know anything about science or
I
the
do. I
anatomy,
actually do.
when your
Actually, I
stomach is
do.
growling, that means those are your digestive gases that you're hearing. And your stomach is empty. That's why you hear them growling. Now, if you had food or something on
But
your
that don't mean
stomach
you
for
hungry,
it to
though.
consume, I didn't say it meant you're hungry. What I said is that what it does
That's for lovely.
is that your stomach is empty. And most people whose stomach
That's for lovely.
empty are hungry.
Okay,
Well, you can believe you can live without eating.
That's for
too, and
lovely
we can
though.
see
Hold
how
on. That's for lovely though.
we can see how far that
She
goes.
said, "Oh, I can't believe."
Don't
this."
bring me into that
That don't mean
What
you're
they
hungry.
say triggers your hunger is that your blood sugar level goes down to a certain point, and that's when it triggers your hunger.
And all of this is science that we have evidence to show for it. But you can go off of belief, and you can believe that you cannot eat food and live forever, and we'll see how your evidence turns out.
Well, if you
Hey,
eat McDonald's for
J-Bo,
the
do you
rest of your
think the
life,
earth,
Hold on.
J-Bo,
Even
do
when
you
you
think
eat
the earth is
food,
flat?
that don't mean you're gonna live forever. Please
especially not if you eat McDonald's.
How long are you gonna live if you're starving?
Exactly.
How long are you gonna live if you're starving? You know exactly what I'm saying. Even that's
3 days,
measurable.
3 to
So
4
it shows
days.
it's not a belief.
Yeah.
It's not a belief that
You
I
don't
need to
have to
eat or
eat.
I don't. Eating is not a
Eat to
belief.
live.
Well, actually, if you have water,
3 days without water.
That's
3
not
days,
scientific
3
fact
weeks
either.
without
so maybe, hold
That's
on,
not a fact either.
if you have access
that's
to
not a fact,
water,
Sylvia.
you can probably go without food for 30 days prior to
That's
you
not a fact
leaving,
either.
prior to you leaving Earth. So like some people,
No, it's a man. It's a man. Been
I
living
can go
over
on
60
one
years
meal a
without
week.
water.
I can go on one meal a week.
What is he
Just
doing?
He get
depends
water
on-
out of
drinking
He
something.
get water out of it. No,
You can get water from
Even if he's getting it out
watermelon.
of,
You can get it from cucumbers.
Life
You
is.
can
Yeah,
get
I
water.
know that.
There are a lot of water
Yeah,
foods.
But I'm talking
that
about
have a-
actual water.
He's
So
drinking
what I-
some type of
Jabbo,
liquid
You
libation.
like to
You trying to make it seem like
Jabbo
he
likes
ain't
to
drinking.
I'm just
argue
telling
facts.
Come on.
He likes to
I'm
argue.
not
facts.
arguing nothing.
With it,
That's-
it's
I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying
are,
it's
because
You
different.
trying to make it
because-
seem like he ain't drinking nothing through the whole week. Come on, man. He drinking something. He getting
He's
some type of
fasting and
fluid in his
praying.
body.
Fasting and praying.
Okay.
He's one of
Because
them
if I'm on an
newfangled.
if I'm on an
Hey, that what
island,
Jesus told y'all to do.
if I am on an island,
It is nice to do.
don't where they don't have what we call running water sterilization in the United States. I can live as long as it's got some coconuts, because that contains coconut water. As long as it's got any water source foods like cucumbers, watermelon, any melon, whether it's cantaloupe family, grapes. These are water foods. And if you didn't have water, if you eat these in plentiness, you won't need the water.
You bring up the Bible and Jesus. Go ahead.
What water substance is in these fruits?
Okay, go look it up, Jabbo, because you're so intelligent on everything.
Dude, fruits are like 75 to 80% water. What are you talking about?
70%.
What are you talking about?
Well, I want to know
has a fair amount of water in it too.
It's H2O and what else? What's the other one?
how long are we going to be living if we're leaving MAGA? There's a MAGA sign behind it. How long are we going to be living without MAGA?
Actually, the probability of us living longer is
we don't. Y'all the one got an issue. We don't. But we don't care what y'all like. Listen, when y'all voted, do you think we care how y'all voted?
Absolutely not. No one ever thought that.
So my thing is, only people worried about MAGA
look like that.
is y'all. Y'all worried about MAGA,
right? Because you have the right to vote.
I agree with that.
I
agree with that.
I want to give y'all an example. Can y'all look at the host? Can y'all look at the host and look at the shape of the head? How it's rounded at the top.
Again, Sylvia,
stop over talking people. Stop over talking people. Miss Sylvia, go back and eat your sandwich and your chips, lady.
Hey, my thing
recognize brain damage and not fully developed frontal lobes.
Shut up, bro.
Okay. Now you see how conscious it is, how it flattens out and then comes around, and the forehead is perfect. Now look at Jabbo's
head. Stop on this app.
It comes to a cone at the top.
Exactly.
Even look
no,
at
it's not.
I mean,
that's actually not a cone.
Yeah, it is.
That's me holding my head up. That's my head. That's my head holding up.
So what that
like I was saying,
let me go get the book of the anatomy. I'm gonna tell you what that means.
I can't. My stomach's hurting.
I laugh. You know why I laugh at it? Because you sitting on the app worried about what the next person looks like.
So it's
I just left.
Hold on, wait. She
basically,
hold on. She basically said his head shaped like a dick.
No, she said a cone, lovely. Don't do too much. She said a cone. Like a cone head.
Hold on. They trying to throw these shots, but they sitting on the app. Head broke. Looking stupid.
And bro,
but hold on.
You want to go? You want to go tax return with me?
Girl, you ain't even.
No, I'm saying I'll show mine.
My tax
I'll show mine. You show yours.
No, if you voted for Donald Trump, you don't deserve to see my social security number. None of my tax returns. None of my.
Yeah, not even the whole thing. Let's just show the amount. Jabbo, you calling me broke? Let's show the amount.
Man, listen, I'm gonna show, bro. I don't care. Listen, bro.
You bought it up.
I don't feel like, bro. Listen, girl. You ain't even in my tax bracket, so
let's see. Let's go on IDme.com and see.
Okay. No, I ain't gonna got an ID.
That's what I thought. I bet you won't.
I'm finna show it to you right now. I made this in May.
On the big
I'm finna show you this right now. Here's what I made in May.
You really don't owe strangers on the internet this information. But that's
the thing, Spider-Man. I did that too. He's so concerned about looking broke while calling other people broke that he's willing to show us his personal information.
Right, but you ain't gotta show nobody nothing. No one should. It's dumb.
Maybe the fact that you got a tax return that you trying to show shows that all our asses is broke hell. Ain't nobody paying taxes who got money.
You can't.
Y'all are so dumb.
Next topic. Next topic.
Unless you come out to show us a zero tax responsibility.
What are we talking about? I'm bored.
In 2024,
I'm bored. What is the next topic?
hold on. My thing is this. Y'all sit around, and this no disrespect, because to any of y'all Democrats, whatever.
But he sit up here with us.
Can you describe
I don't
what
care
a
nothing about you. I
composite
came up here for
cell
fun.
looks like?
I really don't care.
I
I don't care about none of y'all on this panel. I've been knowing. Hold on.
Which is
I've been
why
knowing
you don't
Con longer than I've been knowing all of
that
y'all.
I can't get my books and
So
stuff to
I
show.
can care less about any of y'all on this panel. I'm just keeping it real. I
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about
and
Natalie.
Con, me and Con been.
Why is your
Again,
head
so
like
y'all
that?
sit around. Why is your mama
come on,
head
y'all.
like that?
Come on, y'all. We ain't gonna talk
Her head ain't like
okay.
Look, let's
Okay,
keep it
Devil,
on. Let's
Devil.
keep it on the topic.
God
You brought
damn,
up tax.
let's
We've
So
been
we
off the topic for the last
and we'll
30
move
minutes.
on.
What
We'll
y'all
move on.
talking
We'll
about?
move on. We'll move on.
I got another
Minutes.
topic too.
We'll
Look, I
move
got a
on.
topic too.
Con,
We got a new
hey,
topic we're gonna be discussing. Go ahead,
Calm
Jack.
down, man. Calm
Hey,
down.
Con, let me get what I was saying before I was so
Go ahead. You
rudely
got it. Go ahead.
interrupted
You
by,
got 1 minute. You
this
got it's
slave.
2:01.
Your
This slave over
glucose
here.
Calm
high.
down, man. Calm down.
She was running the underwrap.
Lord.
Look at her. She look like she.
Look,
Hey, but
hold on. I got one.
Is
Go
your
ahead.
let me leave it
glucose
alone.
level high?
Hold on.
I got a new topic
Hold
for
on.
you. I got a new
Why
topic
y'all
for you.
always?
Hold on.
I got one. I got one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Because this
Why
can
y'all
encompass
always
everybody. Go
use?
ahead.
New
Let him
topic.
finish.
Why y'all?
I'm so
why
broke.
y'all
Oh my
always?
God.
Spit this
Hold on,
bullshit
y'all. Hold on.
out.
Stop,
God
stop,
damn,
y'all. Stop,
let me
y'all.
finish what I was finna say.
Let him finish. I got a new
God damn.
topic. We gonna get
I
past this.
got
Go
a new
ahead, Jack.
topic. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
broke. All I
Why
got to
all?
show you is these
Yeah,
nuts.
come on. Go. Calm down, y'all.
Lord,
Okay,
baby, spit this out so we can move on. Go
So
ahead.
corny,
Come on,
so
Dabo.
lame.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
well,
It was a
come on,
dad
y'all.
That shit
joke.
lame as
Calm
fuck.
down, y'all.
My
Let's
thing
get
is this. This is the only, and this was the only election that y'all use everything in the book to call people in a cult. Y'all call white people race. Y'all call white people racist just because they didn't vote with y'all points. That shit is crazy to me. That's insane. Because they didn't vote the way y'all wanted to be voted. Y'all call people racist. Y'all call people in the cult. But y'all sit here and break y'all fucking neck for a fucking party don't have no fucking leadership, don't have no messaging at all. Yeah, like it don't have no messaging for the people, don't have no solutions. And I land my plane with that, yeah.
So what's the Republican healthcare plan going to be?
Well, most Republicans' genetic code specifies the correct sequence of amino acids in a polypeptide chain. And they're missing a couple of lots of them.
breaking down DNA strands. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they are RNA molecules that they missing. So I don't know. They need some proteins, something.
They have a hard time deciphering who is human and who is not. That's why they create so many divisions. Yeah, we don't know. It's a
Where is it
a
at?
phenomenon.
See right here. There it is.
Go ahead. New topic.
There
Thank
it
God.
is. Religion belongs.
Okay, hold on. I got it. Where's it at? Where's it at? I think this is it right here. There it is.
God damn.
There it is. Does
Nobody's
religion
gonna say yes.
belong in politics? Can you guys
Fuck no. Next topic. No brainer.
Hell no.
God damn, nobody's gonna say yes.
Okay.
Fuck no. Next topic. No. That's
Thomas
fucking the
Jefferson
problem.
said
That's
so.
why we're on here now.
Have
Fucking
y'all
religion and politics.
passport?
Next
He's
fucking
trying to
topic.
he's just trying to bring out all the Islamics.
Have y'all heard about this passport, brother? Are y'all familiar
The
with passport?
Islamics.
Who is that, Denali?
No.
But no.
Now, lovely girl. Now, girl.
But
Let me stop before he walk his goddamn toupee head
You
having
are
ass
wild
back in
card.
here.
I'm sorry.
I thought that was Tariq Nasheed.
Now wait a minute. Is that Albert?
Now, you got like one more dad joke left, and then we'll have to cut you off. You done met your.
Okay, so next topic, are we talking about the passport bros? Is that what we're talking about?
So this gentleman, he's a passport bro, but what happened is he ended up going to Brazil, getting caught up in a sexual ring. Y'all can't with
He's a fucking idiot.
With underage kids.
What you think we should tax?
It's looking bad for the passport bro.
What they chop his dick
seems
off?
cool with it. I think we should tax it at this point.
What you think we should tax for?
This is. Can I get my opinion on this?
Passport broing.
Hold on. Let me get my opinion on
of
this
that.
passport bro bullshit, right? Because I have a passport, but I'm not a passport bro. There is a difference, right?
Definitely.
A lot of these, in low key, there's some passport cis some women out here doing the same shit, but that's neither here nor there. These passport bros, they are just going to these places for sex tourism. That's really what it boils down to.
So we can't
and
discriminate. And we'll have to tax all of y'all.
Smax tourism, you know what I'm saying? And they use this whole thing where like, oh, black women in America, they're different, they're this, they're that, whatever. That's why we go. No, bro, you're just a fucking bum. And you're going to Brazil and Colombia or Thailand. And then when you get over there, you realize that it's not a black woman thing. Women in general are just fucking psychotic. No offense.
Which is why we're just going to tax all the men at the airport when they have a passport or a visa or even a real ID, because we can't discriminate, and we're trying to stop the passport bro activity, but we can't do that either because you love it so much. So now we're just going to try to benefit from it pure American style. We're going to get it off the front end.
You know what I don't understand about the whole passport bro thing is that a lot of them do complain about black women, right? They complain about giving women money and things of this nature, but yet they're willing to buy a passport, buy a plane ticket, go overseas, and have to pay for it over there too. So
Exactly.
it just the whole thing never made sense to me. And then they spend all this money on, foreign women or get caught up in things with children, which I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I think a lot of them go over there for kids. Like, I don't know how old you all are, but I'm 34, and I remember when I was a teenager, I remember it was this show that actually followed American men overseas and would arrest them for overseas crimes and things of that nature when they got caught up in kids. And a lot of them were American men getting caught up with children overseas. And so they go over there because they think it's safe, and so I never understood passport bros. You're gonna pay for it here, you're gonna pay for it there, you're gonna pay for it anywhere. So when they come bragging like, oh, I'm a passport bro,
that leads me to my next.
You go coochie just buying it over here.
All right. So that leads me to my next question.
She said coochie.
Do y'all think that
You about to be on timeout too, Spider. You about to be with old dad jokes.
Do y'all think that prostitution should be illegal here in the States?
No, it should be legal.
It should be legal.
I meant to say
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I really don't give a fuck either way, because whether it's legal or not, people still doing it. So it's been happening.
The only reason it's not legal because it's really hard for the United States of America to tax
you.
They don't know when it's working or when it's off. You know what I'm
And
saying?
if you think about OnlyFans is not illegal.
It's not like I'm clocking in. It's not like it clocks in.
Miss Sylvia, them truckers be doing everything on the clock, and they be accepting their time. It could be a way to be done, but women and children are still property. Women and children are still property, and that's what it is. And so they're gonna criminalize that when they want to, if they want to. So not
some
gonna stop
states
it.
have it legal. It's just not legal federally, but there's some states I think who have legal. Is it Nevada? Isn't it legal there?
Nevada has Buddy Ranch out there.
Yeah, you can go. There's some places legal for you to do it, just like cannabis, where some places are legal and some it's not. I think it ought to be legal across the board, and that way it can be regulated. It can we can make sure the women are health wise, clean. Run some type of test on the men that come in. Maybe you have to make an appointment in advance and have some tests run before you're able to come in there.
Oh, so you mean like dick on demand, basically, like a dick appointment or a coochie, appointment. Coochie coupon, yeah, okay.
Run some tests. Well, that's that, because it may take a couple of days for certain tests to get back, depending on how quick they can get results, because I don't want you, we need to make sure you're 3-letter words free and all other STD free,
They can though, Miss Sylvia, because
I
they've
think
already
prostitution is disgusting, but I don't think it should be illegal.
Well, they can't, because they've already come and colonized pretty much everywhere they could and made them believe a religion. And so engagement in it is not what their engagement should be. No. I'm letting you in on the big play. they can't come out and do everything with it right now because they can't make money from it like they want to, because they raised everybody to be a Christian or a Catholic or a Jew.
So this is why we have under the cover plan with
Yes.
children. So this is
Yes.
why we need to go ahead on and make prostitution legal. But
that's true.
You know,
but they just want to do it. They don't want anyone else to do it. They want to do it. They don't want anyone else to do it.
That's true.
Who is they? What do you mean by they? I'm confused.
The elite and the elite and the YT people.
Yeah.
Only they
I have a
can
question.
do it, but no one
I have
else.
a question.
I
I have a question for the panel. Do you guys know who Austin Holloman is? He's a supposedly passport bro. Hey, Conscious, you know who he is?
Yeah, that's kind of how I got roped into. Well, not roped into.
Yeah, what's your
kind of like?
what's your view? What's your opinion on him? I think he's a fuckboy, but like, what's your opinion if you have one?
Seems like he's.
I think he's kind of like. I think he saw opportunity and ran with it, but he. It seems like he's kind of weak. Like he couldn't handle dealing with black women here, so he left.
He definitely couldn't handle that shit. He couldn't. He went to Brazil. He couldn't handle them either.
At some point, he realized he couldn't handle women, and I think what he's realizing it's not really the women, it's really him. Because
exactly,
you got to be like, hold on, I keep going to all these different countries, and the one common denominator is me. So maybe
I'm gonna have to find. So there's another guy on YouTube who I follow. I follow this guy, but this is not the guy I'm talking about. It's actually another guy who he was talking about on his channel, and I got to go back and find this motherfucker. But basically, he was in Thailand. He was talking to this Thai girl or whatever. She's basically like a call girl, like a prostitute, basically. It was a video that resurfaced on Twitter, X, whatever, about him. They was like beating shit out of each other. Like she was beating his ass and he was beating her ass. He basically locked her in the apartment because I guess she wouldn't pay up or something. And she was recording him and he was like beating the shit out of her. It was really bad. But I'm just like, yo, that shit, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that Holloman guy the guy that like crashed out on like in Kenya somewhere?
No, I think he was in Kenya too, but this didn't happen in Kenya. This was in Thailand or Colombia. But I feel like this guy, I don't know his name. He's been traveling all over the place. But other passport bros, quote unquote, on the internet, they've been talking about him. He's been making his rounds on like, I guess, Instagram, YouTube and shit.
Oh, you know Jay Rello.
It's a dark skin
Jay
Rello.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know his name. No, Jay Rello.
Oh, you know Jay Rello.
No, I think Jay Rello. Ain't Jay Rello like the trucker dude? He's a trucker, right?
Jay Rello's a dark skin. He almost looks like Pepe Le Pew.
But he been crashing.
That might be him. I don't know what he looks like. There's a lot of people who talk about him.
But he been crashing.
But I do know he's dark skinned.
And everybody in Kenya was looking for him. Is that what you talking about him?
I feel like that's like a 60% chance that's the same person, because I don't know what it looks like, but I know he's dark skinned.
This gentleman, and this is another
that's
thing
what
I
he did. He
understand
ended
about
up
passport brothers. Even if you don't do something like that, if you going over there for
when we get home, I'm
The fuck is you recording it?
yeah, and that's what he did. He ended up soliciting a young lady. That's what he said. Well, when we get home, I'm gonna record it. But she got uncomfortable with it. And you see, like him, like, no, I paid you. That's what you. And he like literally got it recorded. Like, get the F out. I forgot all about that. Yeah, this.
So when I was in Colombia like 2 years ago, I'm a Black American, like I'm not a passport bro or whatever. So I don't want that label. I just do love to travel, right? Do you know that if you are a Black person, especially like a Black man, they automatically assume that we're all like that just because of that shit?
The stigma, yeah.
And then if you're like an attractive Black man who's like in decent shape or whatever, they think that we're prostitutes as well. Like we're trying to like. We're not prostitutes. They think we're there for sex work, basically. They don't view us as like regular people just traveling.
Well, think about it. Most Americans are divorced. Most Americans who travel have either disposable income or flexible schedule, and that's not most Americans. So Americans that they truly do see are Americans who are probably there doing said things. They're not the type that would be.
No, but it's not the majority of us. That's what I'm saying. It's really not the majority of us. It's a small minority. What I'm saying is it's a loud minority of people, and it makes us all look bad. And it's not even Americans. It's specifically Black people, because I'm not saying the white guys don't do it, because I know they do. but for whatever reason, it's like the stigma is really. It's not everywhere, of course. It's
No,
just
no, no,
certain
no, no.
places.
What I'm telling you is, if they offer it, people are coming there for it, and we are not the only
Oh,
people
yeah,
who
for
do
sure,
come
for
there
sure.
for that. But the dynamics of America specifically, and Americans who have access to travel, you being American, I mean, they know those types who have that kind of access. And at the same time, it is predominantly more than it is just everyday citizens and families and normal ass people. It's people
Okay.
like those people, and then the outliers who are the solo independent travelers or wealthy who can travel X, Y, and Z.
Let me ask y'all this question.
Looking at it right now. So
Based
yeah.
on the simple definition of prostitution, when you say that's what we all are, don't you prostitute yourself when you fill out a job application? Or you not selling yourself to the biggest paying corporate company to hire you over all the other applicants?
You're reaching.
I may be reaching, but let me just reach, Monster. Let me reach for a minute, and then you can rebuttal. Aren't you trying to? I mean, you selling your ass, your soul, your ability. I mean, you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself to try to get the best pay, and then even once you get the job, you're going to continue to sell yourself to get promotions. I mean, that's how I look at the prostitution. So I don't see a negative connotation with the word. Because basically that's what we do basically daily.
Well, we're humans, and I mean, it's in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like, we have to have sex just like we have to eat and survive X, Y, and Z. Like, it's a part of our nature. And the thing is, though, we would do it for free, but we would also pay to do it after we've told people that that part of their human nature was not to be engaged in that way for just, your human, pleasure, because that's living in the flesh. That's not of the spirit.
But America has had some crazy rules. Do you know at one time it was against the law to wear condoms in this country? That the man that invented condoms was actually put in prison. And the reason he invented condoms in the city of New York was because at one time prostitution was legal and the people were sleeping around getting diseases and stuff. So the original condom was made out of a pig's intestine. Okay. So that he was making these condoms and he was selling them and he was put in prison. So condoms only became legal in America once we went off to World War, I think it was 2 or 1, one of them. And so our men went over to these other countries and started sleeping with the women. And the country we were fighting, which was the other people, they were already letting their men use condoms, so they men wouldn't get no STDs when they was off sleeping with the folks in the other countries, but the American men were. So then they had to take that man out of prison. So they first started making the condoms for the military people. And then after that, it became legal for American citizens to have condoms. Look that shit up.
That's interesting.
But Miss Sylvia,
No, that's actually true. She's saying it's true. I actually already aware of that.
because that's how they control the population. Like, they use religion just to move the population to where they want them to be. They use law to keep them there and keep them where they need them to be. That's how they do that. So she's exactly right. When I need more babies, of course condoms are going to be illegal. Duh, I need more babies. But when I don't, and when I don't want them coming from some people, or when I don't want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to put a law in place, and then I'm going to punish people. Same thing with China, with having one baby instead of, the 2 or 3, like having to have however many when they had to control their population, whatever they said.
But that just gets me about America. We make laws depending, for whatever floats the boat of the people on, on what's beneficial to them or not. That's what that's the one thing I don't like about laws, because, when the changing, and it doesn't change for the good of the whole community. It just changes for the good to help somebody get some money in their pocket. Because imagine how many people could have been protected from condoms that probably passed because they got diseases that they wouldn't have got. But then, it was against the law.
That is interesting.
But see, we've moved from, well, we didn't move from it. Actually, we were forced out of it. We moved from societies that were built on humans having connection to humans just being used for labor. That's the kind of societies that we were building, that have been built. And that's the thing. That's why they have the law. Because there's nothing about what we're talking about, you know, with, we'll call it street walking, whatever. It didn't even have a label to it. People paid for that years in the Bible. It wasn't called, you know, whatever, until they wanted to make a law about it and label it legally to criminalize it.
Well, let me ask y'all another question. Do you think that the United States of America really goes to these other countries so that they control them, so they can take their Sodom and Gomorrah ways and go over here to these countries?
100,000, 10 million, quadrillion % correct. Yes.
Yeah, because that's you know, I believe that's what we are as a nation, and then we get mad when these other countries don't want our ass over there with all that, because you know they trying to keep their women clean and virtuous, you know, got their hair covered up and body covered up because they know y'all asses don't know how to look at a woman without becoming sexually aroused.
I am very respectful. Just ignore my comments. I just be trolling.
You know,
Miss Sylvia, we're still colonies. That's the thing. America isn't America. The government is an extension of another government, and they have just tried to create colonies, but then they decided they wanted to own them. That's the only difference with America. Because even look at Canada. I was thinking about this earlier. Canada has been so outspoken about its so progressive and liberal views and their humanitarian, you know, whatever. But how much have they said about this situation with Nigeria and U.S.?
But what I'm saying, when America wants to be progressive, it's only about allowing women to be, when it's whatever way they want to swing. It's either about letting women be whores, letting them be free to do what they want to do, or we're going to restrict you. So it's either or with them. It ain't no in between. So at one moment we're going to go to a country and set all the women free over there so they can be whores and wear their hair and wear cut off clothes, while the men over there are saying, no, we don't want this. We want our women to stay just like they are. We don't want them looking in every man's eye that they see and smiling and with all their teeth and shit. We want our women to be virtuous and, you know, get married before they even think about things like that.
But Miss Sylvia, it's still a man telling women what they can and can't do. It's still a man having to dictate the outcome of women and children. It is. I mean, and it's just like, the fact is, we're still until we're not property, we are still property, and that's where we're at with it. Like, it's not the case they ever say, okay, well, we're just gonna let the women decide what we do, if we help them, if we don't, if we do this, if we do that, what we should do next. They never say that.
If you treat your property correct and take care of it, it's just like an animal. When you rescue a dog and you take care of him, that dog takes care of you. So there's nothing wrong with as a woman, I don't think, being considered to be in the property of a man if the man is taking care of you in the proper way.
If I rescue a dog, what makes that dog property though? Like, if we take care of each other, we can take care of each other without one having to be the ownership of the other. Or
we don't have to use the word property, but if I am,
I know what you mean.
Right. So if all I'm saying is, if I'm doing certain things for you, I'm assuming, or I'm not going to
assuming guardianship, I'll say.
Right. We've talked about this. So I'm not, if you out here ripping and running the streets, then I ain't fooling with you in the dark or in the day. So all you gotta do is be honest and let me know what you're doing, so I can make a. So that's all I'm, saying with the for men with women. I don't have a problem with women being in a certain way, because I think we should teach our sons the same, and this will keep down a lot of problems that we're having in the world. First, that would be the start of it.
Hey,
that's all.
Don't you agree? Don't you agree if you don't take care of and provide for a dog and you leave the door open, it's going to leave?
Absolutely.
Because it has that right and that freedom. I mean, but it also, can't provide for itself, it's a dependent. I mean, when we're talking about another human, though, that just happens to be a different gender, it is the case that I hear the part about, you know, assuming guardianship, but our parents are our guardians more than our families are our guardians more than another aspect or another piece of society, I think. And that's where I'm at with the gender role situation. Yeah.
Right, but like your dog, right? Most dogs, if you open the door, a lot of dogs will just leave. Whether you're feeding them or not, they'll just leave, right? Some dogs will stick around because they're dependent, but all of those dogs will survive on their own. They have that instinct.
The same as a female, but that's the thing. I think it's the case that, because here's like the way I look at it. We have, women do accept more traditional roles in society because we do, both of us, men play up their strengths just like women play up their strengths. For me, the things that are considered weaknesses to people who think like women are truly inferior are really, those are our strengths. Actually, they're not weaknesses at all. They were there and they are there. They're different, but they are our strengths. And so, you know, we have survived longer. We have, you know, been able to build families and extend even our lineage as well as our partner's lineage by, you know, maintaining a certain role in society, you know, and I don't think nothing's wrong with that, but I do not agree with making that the only place that a human who happens to be a girl can be.
Well,
I
think
just
about
got
it like
a problem with women feeling they have to prove something.
Right. Well, think about it like this, right? And I think about it like this. Back in the day, when one person, one guy goes to work, he could support a whole family, right? And then this whole convincing women to be independent means that they go out and get a job. Now you have two people working, nobody taking care of the kids, which is justification for businesses to increase prices, right? Now you need 2 cars, you need to have all sorts of different things to support 2 independent lifestyles living together. It's sort of like a trap because it go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say it's because it was the way they were moving us to a more consumer-based society than a more self-sustaining society. When women could stay at home, women could do things like have their own gardens and X, Y, and Z. They weren't needing a damn grocery store. So then you make it to where I no longer I don't pay the man enough to support even him supporting a female in that capacity, and then both of them have to do something different. They both have to bring in income. And now they both have to consume because they cannot maintain a garden anymore because they're working.
Right, and it made a lot of women made other women feel inferior because they're like, oh, I'm an independent woman, I have my own job, I don't need to feel supported by my husband, right? But now she needs that extra car insurance, all these extra costs, and now you need childcare, right? And then you're not even raising your own kids, and you have the price of childcare going through the roof, and it's impossible to go back, right? Well, for a lot of people, it's impossible to go back. For a lot of women, I think, because they feel inferior to other women, feeling like they need to be supported by their husband, but it's the husband that wants to support the family, right? They don't. Right. It's not a competition.
Well, that's because the element of the capitalistic structure they were seeking needed classism to maintain it. Like that's exactly why. You're exactly right. You're not wrong about that. But it's because you not only understand inherently that obviously this person has more means of revenue or, you know, financial stability to support this person, that they're obviously in a higher class than you because you don't. Like that's inherent, that's obvious common sense. So at the same time, if you make it a case where you could be this, but you just need to be prettier, makes the beauty consumption go up. If you could do this, but you need to be thinner, you need to look like her, then I make you consume X, Y, and Z. Again, all of this was shifting us into a new form of capitalism, to this capitalism structure that does not work on the society we had before.
I disagree with
you have it's
close box and let me grab. I disagree with both of you except for one little part. you're correct when you say both people are working. But this is why both people are working. Because you took too long to get into a relationship. See, back in the day, people got into relationships early in life. Nowadays, y'all want to you go through high school without your relationship. You go through 4 years of college or not 4 years of college without your relationships. And then you go through your early, up into your early 30s. Now for those of you who have really invested time, you've accomplished a lot at this point. Now you're scared to share it. You don't know if they want you or want the stuff you got. But if you would have gotten that with a partner, you wouldn't be wondering if the partner wanted you or your stuff. So you wait too late in the game. So this is why you end up being by yourself for the most part. And when you get together, you don't stay together because you fail to have those real conversations that you need to have before you get together. So I would encourage y'all to start getting in relationships real early in life before you even get anything. Work together toward it. That's why you see people who stay together for years. They worked together toward a common goal. And they went through the ups and downs.
And Miss Sylvia, you're so right. And it's because simply that is the way that it was done in the first place prior to any of this even existing. When people were born, where they lived, when they grew up around the people they grew up, they married the people that they knew, whatever. They weren't traveling the world. They didn't have social media. They lived within they were comfortable. They didn't need to be something else. They didn't need an outside source to give them money to spend.
Yeah,
that's how it works. But again, that's why I'm trying to say, like, what we have now doesn't support that. That's why they don't exist together at all. They can't.
We don't thrive.
It almost seems like it's an individualistic society, especially here in America. Like we
I
thrive
agree with
on.
what you're saying, Miss Sylvia. I think you like. I never even looked at it like that. Like the more you put
We
in,
don't thrive off of
that
almost
bond
coming.
is even.
I agree with what you're saying, Miss Sylvia. I think you like. I never even looked at it like that. Like the more you put in work, the more that bond is. Even when things do go bad, you kind of realize, like, man, even when stuff was going bad, she still had my back, or he still had my back. And kind of take that into consideration. What's up, Sentinel?
Because it's how you come through the storm,
right?
Right.
Not the storm itself.
And that's where we got great leaders from, like those people, those families, those units that were people like that. They moved together, they did things together, and then our leadership was based off of people's actions, not off of people's money or who, whatever. And that's how we ran, women travel aspect, I guess. But now it's like it's whoever has the most money can pay to be the leader, pretty much. And people are that way.
Right. Well, we live in a consumer nation where we're addicted to instant gratification and always thinking that the things that we have are who we are, and we worry too much about what other people think. Right. Like back in the day when it was a one-income family, right? You didn't buy things that you didn't need. You know what I mean? You didn't buy super expensive shoes. You bought shoes that did the job, and you didn't care what other people thought. In fact, if you had fancy shoes, oftentimes in the beginning, you were just like, people would look at you like, why would you pay 3 times as much for those shoes? If they're not functional, if it's not practical, it's not a pragmatic situation.
Okay, what's going on? Sentinel? How you doing?
And then people started to do that whole keep up with the Jones thing.
You there, Sentinel?
Okay, what's going on, Sentinel? How you doing?
What's going on with you, man? Good to see you.
You there, Sentinel?
Grand Rising, Mr. Conscious.
What's going on with you, man? Good to see you.
All right, Abanagani Hotel. Yeah, brother. I'm just getting. I feel
all over.
I'm not sure where the core of the conversation is going. Where it started
right now.
We kind of all over. We ended up talking about love and togetherness. That's what we.
Yeah, but see, what? Okay, let me speak on that. I was born in the late 50s, about 58. I raised 5 children, 3 sons, 2 daughters. I am still currently married to the mother of my children at 67 years old. I come from a time, and I'm cut from a cloth that does not exist as far as the moral value of inclusive collective existing. So those values which people talk about back in the day, they're referencing it based on information they read or their parents told them or so forth, or through research or documentation. I lived it. I know I'm in a strange world, I'm in a tech world, but what I have the drawback on is the way it was in the day, not just from a subconscious level, but from a conscious level, because I lived it. See, I was raised by what people call the nuclear family. My father was a Korean War veteran. I'm a veteran. So I learned how to be a man from men, real men. And the women learned to be young ladies and then ladies by real women. It's just so happened that the system and or the machine has infiltrated social behaviors and awares to where people are being led to believe things that are not true. And they're trying to find their way. They don't know their way out the maze. I land my plane.
I agree with you 100%. And when they hear, if you try to teach somebody, you'll get so much, you try to teach that, right, to the younger generation, you're going to get so much pushback. And they're going to tell you, oh, you in a different time, you don't know what it's like to this, that. I'll bet that's the response that you probably get.
But it's really not their fault being a person born in 63, because see, we allowed that when Bush got in office, and we allowed him and the government to push his wife's agenda, no child left behind. Because when I went to school, school was school. You actually benefited from school. A man could come out with auto mechanics and different things. Women could come out with different things just from high school. But that changed, and they just passed the kids on, so they have not been educated properly.
I'll tell you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they just have not been educated properly to know how things work.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I looked up the other day. I was curious about it, and I looked up the other day. Over the last 100 years, I was curious, like, when was the highest proportion of teenagers in the workforce? And from the 1930s, 1920s, it grew all the way until the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and it maxed out at about 66% of youth were in the workforce before they were 18, getting some job experience, some principles, some character, right? Some work ethic. And then now, if you look at it, it's the same as it was back in the 1920s, where everybody seems to not have certain skills or ethics or appreciation for labor and work. And a lot of the times now, why is that? Agree.
Who packed your groceries, rolled them out to the car, put them in your back seat or wherever you instructed him, because it normally was a guy, and I think every now and then you saw a girl, and then you tipped that little kid, and they also got paid by the store. So his job got taken away. So many of the cashiers' job got taken away with self-help. Back in the day, you had the kids walking down the street with their lawnmowers, lawnmower cutting your grass for $4 to $5, a reasonable amount that you paid. So this is what happened to all of these type jobs that went away. So I just want to bring that up. Man, my plan. Go ahead.
That's a good point.
Corporate, see, when I was coming up working, see, the corporation was a collective group. You had your CFO, you had your president, chairman, you had the vice president, chief financial officer, and CEO. But see, now a corporation has been classified as an individual, meaning that if that corporation if you're at the helm of that corporation, you control all of the board members and the employees, and you determine what a fair wage is as an individual, not as a corporation. So we must understand that this plan to usurp labor and focus on overhead has been going on since the early 70s on to now. What America don't want to do is pay Americans, or corporations do not want to pay Americans a fair wage for their labor and their ideas and ingenuities and their inventions. This is where we're at. We're living in a corporatocracy under a religious theocracy to control economics, education, entertainment, politics, sex, war, religion, labor, and law. Most people don't understand how money even come into existence. Money is a tool or a mechanism used for the exchange of good and service. But money is basically printed for pennies on the dollars from the treasury. A dollar weighs as the same amount if you weigh it on a scale as a $5 bill, as a $10 bill. So what gives it value? It's the confidence that you have in the note, what's denoted on the note. But the money in and of itself is only a vehicle to purchase land, acquire resources. But at the same time, the Treasury and the Federal Reserve is a private corporation. And if you read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, is when J.P. Morgan and the Peabody family set up the Federal Reserve. That's what caused the collapse of the Depression. What did they do? They took all the gold that was on loan to the banks from the rightful owners of the gold and loaned money to themselves and to projects and gave them IOUs. That's all a dollar is an IOU. So Article 10, Section 8-9 of the Constitution states that only Congress can coin money and regulate the value thereof. My question is this: when have you heard or known the last time Congress voted on the value of a half a cent or a cent? It hasn't happened since 1974.
Right.
Okay, now why did they take us off the gold standard? So why did they do that?
Because they wanted, right. They took us off the gold standard because they wanted the ability to print money, right? They wanted the ability to have more economic control.
And also
to spend money they didn't have.
That also what? Push, pressures, create debt. See debt. See, if you understand the financial market, people that buy up debt make money. They make it on the low.
Right.
They sell it on the high.
Of course, right.
So what you're saying is true, but at the same time, the money that they pump into the economy is already debt before it hits your pocket.
Right.
So the fact that we don't have, but because we don't have, we're not on the gold standard or the silver standard that keeps the valuation in influx of currency. What it does is shores up currency in the event that the bill loses its purchasing value. So what did they do? They hijacked the gold and silver, loaned us, gave us IOUs and charged us an interest, and they moved away from fractional reserve banking. What is that? For every $1, every $10 that $1 they loan into circulation, they have to keep 10 in reserve for backing of that $1. But that doesn't exist anymore. Why? Because private corporations have taken over the treasury and taken over the central banking system on the account of all U.S. citizens in America. So they stuck us up with legislation and a pen. They hijacked us with pen and paper.
Well, right. They wanted to go off. So when we were on the gold standard, let's say the government wanted to fund a war, or the government wanted to build parks all the way across the United States, right? People could vote on it, but if you didn't have the money to do it, well, you just couldn't do it. And the people just didn't get what they wanted to. And that was us living within our means. When we went off the
Well,
gold
how did-
standard,
Let me ask you
it
this:
allowed them to.
Bless,
Mhm.
do the rich live within their means?
The rich, some do. There's millionaires that live paycheck to paycheck.
No,
but
millionaire and
there's
billion. No, billionaire. I'm talking about the top tier. I'm not talking about the 3rd, 4%. I'm talking about the 1%.
they live within the means of their own ability, but they don't need to
No,
because
what
their
they
money
do,
makes
they
money.
live within the mean. No, they live within the means of the labor market of those that labor in their companies.
Well,
for
right.
subsidized
They
pay. So we got we must
some of the pay.
understand. But you do agree that those jobs from 2000, 2020, 2002, 2008, 208, those jobs are never coming back because those jobs have been they have been purchased up. Technology is taking over. Automation, artificial intelligence, and signal intelligence is the new economy.
I agree, Sentinel. I agree. So those jobs don't come back, right? But when we create this technology, more jobs, different kinds of jobs are replaced. And the problem is, right? The problem is that technology is unbridled. Okay, so there's no reins on the technology, and technology progresses at a pace faster than the human mind can retool for different skills.
Agreed.
So you get as technology takes off exponentially quicker year after year after year after year, a lot of jobs get replaced, and a lot of those individuals, right, don't have the time to reskill, and they get left behind, and you get this whole subset of the economy and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And now it's the government's responsibility to be able to say, hey, slow down a little bit. Things are moving too fast technologically, right? Those jobs, like we were talking about earlier, and Sylvia and I were talking about earlier in McDonald's, those used to be entry-level jobs for teenagers as an introduction into the workforce. They didn't pay very well because anybody could do them. And now you have adults coming in who are 40, 50 years old doing those jobs, right? And those people are now even getting replaced, right? So those teenage kids,
we have to also speak to why that's happening. And why that's happening is because of inflation, and the purchasing power of the dollar is losing its purchasing value.
Right. Well, that's by design, though. So the Federal
Correct.
Reserve targets a 2 to 3% inflation rate every year by design, because they
Correct.
want individuals to know. Because currency, like current, right? It's an easy way to remember. It's got to flow through the economy. Otherwise, if it stops flowing and exchanging between businesses and people like that, the economy suffers. So they target a 2 to 3% inflation rate, so that they know, so that the consumer knows things will be more expensive in the future than they are now. So keep the money going and buy it now while it's cheap.
I agree.
So rather than put your money and invest it so it grows faster than that rate of inflation, most people don't understand that, and they buy things now because it's going to be cheaper. It's going to be more expensive in the future. So they target a 2 to 3% inflation rate, and over 100 years, the dollar loses. Every 100 years, the dollar goes down to 97% value. It loses 97%.
That's right. Pennies on the dollar. Its value is pennies on the dollars. And based on that formula, would you agree or disagree that the Federal Reserve is a private corporation that operates for profit, and it's not a part of the government, even though it has the name federal in it? And that's how they tricked us into believing that
it was formed in 1913.
It's a
It's not a
private
part of the
corporation,
government, even though it bears the name. Correct. Now they buy assets from the government to give the government money.
treasury,
Right?
bonds.
Right, treasuries and bonds, and then that gives them the government money to be able to spend on things, right? So
Okay, so the question is how does all that come into existence?
that
Like-
all
like
comes
if-
into it. Basically, it's oftentimes it's
After
voted
the
on through
depression.
budget.
After the depression
budget
is when that came into existence.
No,
Right,
how,
budget
not
increases.
when, how.
President Roosevelt
Oh, and
authorized that after the economy had collapsed in 1929. They needed something to regulate the flow of commerce throughout the United States. They wanted to be able to
Why?
instill trust, and that's where the gold standard came in.
Okay, why?
Because it had to be backed on something. The dollar is just a promissory note. It just says that I will give you something
Okay.
in the future.
Okay, we agree with that. So
No.
what did they do as it relates to gold and silver? Those that
Gold
control,
doesn't do anything.
monetize.
Gold just stands there by itself. It's used in
Why
medicine
does
and
it?
technology and industrial uses, but gold
I
just
agree with
stands
it.
there. It doesn't do anything.
What is okay? So what is the price of gold today? Would you estimate?
About $4,000 an ounce, going up to maybe
Okay, so what?
10,000 in 2028.
Okay, so it can't just be there just doing nothing. If it's gaining
But gold didn't
in
do
value.
that. The value was
No,
placed
but
on it
gold's
from other
not gaining.
sources.
Yeah.
No,
Gold,
what did that is
Sentinel.
speculation.
Sentinel.
It's called speculation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, no,
Gold just sits
Sentinel.
in the ground.
Gold doesn't.
Go
Gold
ahead.
doesn't increase in value. Sentinel,
Absolutely.
gold doesn't increase in value. Gold stays the same, but the dollar that it takes to buy that much gold goes down in value. That's why you need more dollars to buy the same ounce of gold.
And
Yeah,
science
no.
improves the
You
use
can-
of gold.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, two things can be true at once. First off, I did want to correct something though. Technology is literally our knowledge of certain information. It's not necessarily the fact that it's going to outpace us, because we have to have knowledge of it for it even to exist. That is what technology is. It is the case that there's infinite means that it could go to, yes, but as far as it outpacing the human capacity to understand it, that it is the case that there's infinite, even per definition alone. So when we talk about technology and how it's that's correct. There is no other
I can prove.
of unknown quote unquote technology. By not knowing it, that takes literally the ology out of technology. You cannot
Okay,
have the
but wait,
exist.
though. Here's where you're wrong.
I
Here's where
totally
you're wrong.
disagree with
So
that.
right now they can tell you that right now they'll tell you, and you can look it up, that AI, right, technology is teaching itself new things, and the designers don't even understand how it's doing it or how it's teaching itself this, or they have no understanding of how it's actually working. If you really look into that, I encourage you.
Because
No,
it's a smart
they-
chip. It keeps
they,
on asking questions like a database. It just keeps on
So-
asking queries.
Hold on. Technology can develop itself. Yes. They know that. They know do you think they don't know about AI? We've known about AI for centuries, well, decades now. It is the case they know that AI has the capacity to also develop itself. This is not unknown. This is not anything that is like sci-fi. It's not, it's fact. But that being said though, that does not mean that as a technology, as AI, that it can create a form of consciousness. We have no knowledge of how to do that. There is no way we could have created anything that would have knowledge of how to do so, because we have no knowledge of how to do so.
Can AI create babies? Can AI create life and deliver babies like a midwife could? Or
And AI can
Why
sustain
not?
life. AI can sustain life. We harvest eggs from the same space, though. You still have to have a female, Homo sapien.
The
to
only
have
way AI could do that is you could use it as a knowledge-based system, where if you were in that position where you had to deliver a baby, you could ask AI for the information needed and it could instruct you, just like it's used currently in corporate America. So yes, in that way it could help a midwife to deliver a baby, but there would have to be a human carrying out the act until they invent some type of
just a
he's
program.
talking
Then
about-
AI could handle abortions. Then, if you program
He's
the AI,
talking
it could
about-
do abortions.
No, it can't.
it can instruct you how. Now, what she's speaking as far as AI having a form of empathy, even the creator of AI has stated, unless we as humans program empathy,
Yes.
sympathy into the AI, it will not have those abilities. So which would make it dangerous. So for example, there's a mother currently suing some AI out here because the AI instructed her son to commit unaliving, and he followed the instructions of the AI.
Yes.
This is who he was communicating with, because going forward in the future, I as a little kid watching the Jetsons, we saw little individual cars that would be flown in the air, punch a button and food comes out of it. That's kind of almost a little bit like the microwave, but it'll get even, better as time goes on. So I can see all of this. So this is how people will communicate. So it's very important that you're very careful with it, because I can see robots in the future.
There will be in the future. There will be robots that
you're already here.
Impregnated
We have
and
robots.
and have a baby.
We have an AI robot that could deliver a baby right now. They've made one.
Will there be an AI? Will
I'm
there
not
be an
talking
AI
about
lawyer
delivering
or
a
an
baby.
AI
I'm talking
judge?
about.
China got one
I
already.
think what
He's
I
talking
think
about the
what people are
actual
missing.
act with the woman.
I think what people are missing is that the technology. There was a report. There was a article that came out in Popular Mechanics about a year and a half ago, where one of the chief programmers of artificial intelligence that worked under DARPA, which is the Department of under DARPA, which really very few people know anything about DARPA. But anyway, this programmer was silent or saying that they have proven
Sentient.
that it's silent or saying it can and they shut the program.
Beautiful word.
They shut
Beautiful
the
word.
program. They shut the programmer down, not the program. So what people know now is technology or new today. They're actually 15 to 20 years ahead of the technology that we're using today. I know this for a fact because I retired from the IT field. I retired from working for a major telecom organization that had major
I know
contracts.
what you're talking about, Sentinel. You're talking about the dude that worked at Google, and he came out
Correct.
and he said that AI is Sentinel, and they fired him. And then you used AI in those days, right? If you used early AI, you could ask it a lot of questions. And now when you ask it questions, and you can even ask AI about its guardrails. You could just use the term guardrails. They put these guardrails in place so that it won't scare people, because it really is a lot. They hindered it in its ways that it could talk to you. It used to really go into depth.
Didn't Trump just pass something that blows away the AI restrictions nationwide? Trump just passed something
He wants
no restrictions at all.
For 10 years.
No. He wants a instead of a state individual. He wants a federal. He wants a federal rule, one federal rule about AI, so that everything is going along the same pace. So he wants a federal control.
So that they can control it completely.
But
good luck with that. The internet is a good example of how that's not going to work.
No, they have if they contain the access to their technology, literally all the technology even operates off of satellites that are ran by our military. Russia, China, and now India has one. There is no
By whose military?
That's not speculation. That is fact.
All that can be hacked.
No, regulation.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me be quiet. Yes, it can be hacked. But that being said, you hacking it does not mean that it will not be not known by our military. They will know that because they run those. They operate all of it. They control all of it.
Trump's interest in AI is that he has his own AI company now. So
right, but Miss Sylvia, even to the about AI though, again, look at intelligence. Intelligence is literally knowledge, how knowledge is held, how knowledge is obtained. If you have, there are inherent ways to obtain intelligence, like through your senses, through physical things, through all of that. There's also the ways that are not necessarily instinctive. They're, a consciousness thing. gonna have no intelligence of how to create the consciousness that we as humans have, because we have no intelligence that tells us how we don't have it in the case that we have humans that do not have the level of consciousness that other humans have. We know that, but we don't know why. We don't know how it happens. If we did, we'd be able to stop it. That's the thing. You can't have artificial intelligence. I'm just gonna land it right here, Sentinel. You can't have artificial intelligence that would be able to do anything that we don't already know and have intelligence about. Period.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you on that. I think you should look further into it.
The point is not to necessarily have
No. What does artificial mean? It means not natural. If you have something that's artificial, you have to know what is natural.
No, what I'm saying to you is this: it's artificial because it's not coming from a real person.
That's right. It's not organic human intelligence.
So the point is not that it's going to be more smarter than you. It's just the fact that it will be as smart as you because it is trained by people. Now,
if it's not coming from a human body, it's not coming from a human mind.
Let me
And
finish.
a human
Can I just finish and let my plane?
You got it.
From the form of a corpse.
From a human
Let me
mind.
people that are going to use it. And I don't give a damn about a human because human beings are a liability to me. I got to give you insurance. I got to give you a salary. I got to give you all of these damn things. With an AI system, I ain't got to give it all of that. Now I got to buy the system or probably rent the system from a corporation like Salesforce or somebody who's already got it in play for me. And however, maybe they selling them now where I can go sell it and then be able to incorporate it with the platforms that I run. So for example, one thing in corporate America that AI is going to run people out of work is a lot of these compliance type paperwork jobs, or even customer out of work is a lot of these phone jobs, because AI mimics people. It simulates conversations because we use it at my job. We had a whole compliance department. Now it's a fucking AI department. And if I don't say a word the exact way AI has been trained to hear me on a word, it's going to ding me. Now I got to go in and fight it because I know damn well I said, just because I didn't say the word prescriptions and I said the word drugs, hell, it mean the same damn thing. Y'all need to program AI on all of them. So I got to challenge it, to keep my quality up and everything correct. So I'm just saying, there's nothing that we can really do about it. It's coming, so we got to learn, I guess, some kind of way to work with it, because this ain't gonna be the first time something like this is happening.
I'll tell you what's coming. Here's what's coming. These Neuralink things. Eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to have integration between technology and humans, right? Where and you know how people modify themselves? They stick ball bearings and stuff under their skin. I'm telling you, we're looking at a future where people will willingly amputate their arm because a replacement arm. You've seen these things. You can touch and feel, and they can get to your nerves already, right?
Yes, more efficient.
Right. Why would you want a human arm when you can have when you can have an arm that can outperform a normal arm? You're going to have people that want it. And you're going to have the Neuralink, where if you want to be a doctor, you just pay the $80,000.
But I get what you're saying.
Have the Neuralink and you're a doctor. You have these
You almost sounded like the Matrix, man. You almost sounded like the Matrix.
But you got these glasses, right? Like these meta glasses, right? The augmented reality. Pretty soon, those things will be contact lenses, and you'll just put them in your eyes, and you'll be able to know everybody.
You're right.
Yeah, you'll. Yeah, dude. Doctors are going to be using.
I fall back on that report that came out from the chief architect for a program with Google, who said that they shut the program down because they thought the program was running the code that was created to run the artificial intelligence. And they come to find out that the system was programming and writing code for itself, which means
it can write its own code.
It is sentient. It's sentient. And that's why a lot of coders, and hold on. That's the reason why a lot of programmers in Python, Cobalt, and HTML lost jobs because now that can be done through AI, through automation. And so the thing it is, I read a lot of peer-reviewed scientific journals. I don't just make assumptions based on the fact that I saw a movie and I saw something that can correlate with something that is actually happening in physical realm. Most people think of technology from the end user standpoint, not from the technology and the exponential advancement of that technology. That's how I think of and relate to technology.
Okay, let me
ask you all this question.
Let me say
Let me ask
this.
you all this question.
Hold on, Glove. I want to speak really quick on what you all just said. Again, because I think it is the case that we've done so great with science fiction that when we don't teach scientific reality enough, and it takes things like a little bit farther than we should go. Because again, they're going to just continue to make these narratives about what is actually true in order to gatekeep it and continue to control the masses with it while maintaining their level of comfortability. Because at the end of the day, AI will never outdo a human for the fact, like Miss Sylvia continuously spoke to, it has to be prompted. It has no will of its own. It has no need. It has no human form, physical form that has any physical constraints to it. So it has nothing that would prompt it to even try to meet those metrics or negate those metrics or anything. It has to be prompted to analyze everything that is here. That by someone that is here. You cannot do that from a realm that is not physical, period. So
welcome to the
it's
program,
fact-
AI 2.0 Free Will.
So it's the fact that artificial will never be natural. You hear me clearly. Natural is one thing, artificial is another. They do not exist at the same like in the same space. They don't. So when we talk about
Wait a minute. You just said natural and the unnatural don't coexist.
Artificial is not natural. Artificial cannot be made without
I'm not
natural.
saying no. I'm not giving it the definition natural. See I think that's where we're going wrong. I'm not saying that it's natural in the sense of organic and sentient. I'm not saying that technology.
Organic is natural. Organic's natural.
We have no we don't have no argument there. You're not listening. Whatever this technology is,
Computer metric algorithm and a program. 2.0 Free Will.
Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be a buttress against organic human beings and everything organic human beings do in the levels of economics, education, entertainment, politics, sex, war, religion, labor, and law. That's all I'm saying. I have no problem with the.
Hold on, and all I'm saying is I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying completely. What I'm saying is I think the way y'all are looking at it, it doesn't equate. Again, you're right. It's not gonna impede on anything of organic at all because it won't. I'm just telling you it won't because the realm that it exists in is not organic. There's no way you can impede on anything if you're not even in the same realm.
Can I ask you a question?
Let me give you an example here. There's an example that's going to perfectly explain this to you. All right. So first of all, AI will have autonomy in the future. It will be able to make its own choices and know its own consequences for those choices and choose to accept those consequences or not, or the outcome. Listen, if you make a machine, an AI machine, and you tell it make the most optimal paperclip and make the best paperclip and just make paperclips, it'll make paperclips and it'll eventually make choices to utilize all things to make the best paperclips, and it'll continue to make those paperclips until every stop sign, every light pole, every piece of metal it'll use, and then it'll figure out ways to turn wood into metal. It'll make its own choices to execute its objective.
Because you've programmed
Until
it
there's
to
nothing
do
left on the
such
planet but paperclips.
autonomously. You've programmed
Correct.
autonomy into it.
But you've told it to make paperclips, and then it will make its own choices on the best way to accomplish that objective. And those individual choices will be made by
Because
that
you've
AI.
already programmed it to do such.
Right.
It's
Yes.
the same as
yes.
okay.
For an
Programming is
example,
the same way. Okay.
Right, but it will make its own independent choices on the best materials to make those. Those will be
Right. And
individual
do you
choices
know?
because you gave
Right.
it the initial prompt.
Do you know how we know
So
how?
if you
Do you know?
prompt it,
Okay. Do you
if
know how
prompt
we
it
know
to be as
this?
human as possible,
Do you know how we know this?
prompt as human as,
It's
if you
because
prompt it
we.
to be as human as possible, then it
Okay. So
will be able to
we're
make its own independent choices and have its full autonomy.
right, because we're programming an algorithm. Do you know how we figured out programming as humans? It's because we program other humans. That's how we know how to program. This is a
Sure,
like that's a
but what I'm
science
Can I ask you a
within
question?
itself.
is
So
I just want to ask one
it
question.
will
that
write
being
its
said,
own code.
well, okay, yeah, it will, but you will still have to program it to do such. It will not. There is no spontaneously combusting AI that will have its own programming that it created organically to generate said
Okay,
paper
then
clips.
okay.
No.
Well, wait. Let me challenge your claim. So if an AI robot, right, 20, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, an AI robot like Optimus or something, right, decides to create its own AI robot, right? Then once it gives it the same autonomy, then there you have. It was created organically, given instructions by an individual Optimus that makes it do whatever it wants. Says be free, do what you want to do, go find something to do.
You have to.
Go
You just
kill
said it right there.
somebody. Go kill somebody.
Giving an instruction, and taking a directive are not the same as making decisions consciously. They are not the same thing. Being instructed, you're right. We instructed to do this.
Alex, I'm trying to figure out what your argument really is. I'm confused.
My argument is
So
that
what you're saying is that it
AI
will
will
only do what
never
you tell it to do.
assume. AI will never assume an autonomous, the capacity, consciousness, capacity, sentience capacity of a human. It will never happen.
So who's saying that it will?
I do.
This
It'll
is
get pretty
what
close.
they're saying.
So no,
They're saying that.
Well, if that's what, because they don't understand what AI is, it's not going to be a human, but it's going to take over your position as humans.
No, but
Yeah, because you don't need a million humans to run.
An AI
It doesn't
robot
have
will
to
never
become
make
a
its
human.
own choices.
It doesn't have to become a human to do that, and it will make some choices from itself because it will be programmed to make choices.
It will make.
So just like in the beginning of electricity, we started out with not the circuit breakers. Then we went to circuit breakers. Then we went to those ones that you put it near waters, which automatically shut down to prevent fire. And so the technology will progress, period. It's that's what's going to happen. Now,
It's already progressed.
AI for me in taking over is a one big system deal, because most things are going smart now. You know, everything is running over. I remember back in the day working at Sprint, and they had Ion, which was going to be several different things running over one internet line, and no services been interrupted. And that is what we have today. We can stream on our internet, watch TV. We can run a voice over IP service and talk on the phone on it. Then we can be on our computer and on it, you know, with no service being interrupted. We didn't have that in the 80s. We didn't have that in the 90s yet, but that was things that those companies were working on so that we could have it. And now we got it where you can do these things. So yeah, AI will play a significant role in the future. It will put a lot of people out of work. Now, there are some people who argue that it will create a lot of jobs, just as many jobs as it takes away. I don't see that, because I've never seen anything create as much as it took.
Yes, ma'am.
Ever.
Well,
let me say
well,
this.
think
My
about this.
position
Like when
is-
you get
Oh,
an
okay.
Optimus robot, and you
Give me one second.
you tell
Conscious.
Yes, Miss
Conscious.
Rowena.
So it's Pamela. So I had to go up on my backup page because because Elizabeth motherfucking racist ass reported my page.
Follow you.
So
Accept my request.
I got sniped until the 30th, so I'm gonna be coming up on lives on my backup page.
Okay, I tried to follow you, so accept my request.
Hi, Miss Sylvia.
Alrighty.
Hey,
What's going
Alexis.
on? Because you was in the room earlier under your other page.
I know, and then I went live on my other page because I had to go live one more time so I can have panels. So I said, well, while I'm out, let me go ahead and go live and knock these last 30 minutes out. And while I'm up there, Elizabeth reported my page 3 times.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, that Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah, that aggravating ass racist motherfucker. So when I get a hold of him, I'ma let loose on his motherfucking ass.
Yeah, they
Out
are.
here in these YouTube streets, you know
So
that?
I told that bitch, when I go live, bitch, we gonna talk about the motherfucking files. We gonna talk about that pedophile ass motherfucking president you got. Cause bitch, is some shit in them files.
Hey, Conscious, I'm going to walk to the store, so drop me. I'm gonna come back up on my phone.
Okay.
Part of, okay.
Girl, that ain't making me mad.
Oh.
Look, I'm heading to my
This part of,
family's holiday dinner.
Okay.
So
Appreciate
I'm
you.
just gonna say this, and I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit later. So Cynthia, my point I think kind of overall is that the only things that we know for sure is that energy is infinite, and then knowledge is infinite. We don't know the capacity that it expands to. We don't know the capacity that's behind us that it went to. We don't know that. But what we do know is that these bodies can't live forever. We know that. And we know that we don't know how to make them come back when they stop. And we don't know how to make them start without coming from an actual human. We know that. And the thing
Let me ask
is,
you a question
everything else
before you
we've
go.
created, everything else we've created around it, we've just kind of
Are you
put in
religious?
place.
Are you religious? Are you
Yes,
religious?
I
or
am
spiritual?
religious. I'm religious.
Okay. Now, okay.
Well, I'm
Okay,
spiritual, but I do choose a religion
I
to
kind of
to express that
detected
in.
that. I
Yeah.
kind of detected that.
Well, here's the
But-
thing. I'm really heavy into science, and I also am spiritual because, again, consciousness is something that cannot be quantified by science. So science does not negate, confirm, or deny my spirituality or religion for me. But
Oh, I don't subscribe. I don't have no religion. The truth.
yeah, they don't mix. You don't need one of those either. We don't have evidence that you need that to be any more of a human or not. Like, it's just a personal choice. But that's why I say that again, what people are not understanding is that AI will never be a human, but humans know this, and they're using it to manipulate humans because also what's not needed is a mass amount of humans to be comfortable anymore. At one point they needed
They
that.
believe that. They believe
At one
that.
point, yeah.
The people in those boards, at the board meetings, the architects of AI and artificial intelligence, they have this discussion in their meetings as it relates to the advancement and expansion of artificial intelligence and how much human or organic interaction are they going to need. Basically, they say they want to reduce the planet's population by 1 billion people.
Always got the best.
They really believe this.
What's up, Conscious?
What's going on, man?
You got some
Let me
better
ask
people.
you guys this.
You got some better people on the day.
It was always got the best.
You had the trash on. You had that
Conscious,
trash
what he
on
talking
last
about?
time.
Better people on the panel. What are you talking about? He don't know.
Hey, Conscious,
it was heavy. Him and Heavy was going.
That last guy.
That, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So you are because the content is really thought provoking. I like thought provoking atmospheres. But then sometimes you get
Conscious,
this
go ahead and
trash.
drop me down. My phone about to die.
Okay, appreciate you, and make sure you follow me.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
a question for you guys.
Anybody on here
I
that
got a
says
question for
artificial intelligence is manipulating the minds of humans are not educated when it comes to artificial intelligence.
How so?
Let me ask
It
you
is
guys a
no one ever said it wasn't manipulating. That is true as well. It is manipulating.
It's not
our
manipulating.
minds.
No, it's not.
No,
Are you educated when it comes to AI?
Well, no, hold
Or
on,
are you just someone talking?
Hold on. Let me say
Are
this.
you
Like,
educated as it pertains to AI? Or you just saying,
yes.
okay,
So
so
let
what
me
phase are we
finish
in?
and prove my
What
point.
phase are we in right
Let
now?
me just bring you. Let me bring you evidence to prove my
I just want to know
point.
what phase are we in if you're really educated.
Well, he stopped and then he answered. I answered
I
the
never
question,
stopped.
and
I
now he's
asked.
trying to get
I was making a point. I said somebody that said that, but now since you said you are
No one
educated,
said that though.
yes, somebody did say that artificial intelligence is manipulating the minds of humans, and it's not. So since you're educated like I am, and I do this every day in real time. What phase are we in right now of AI?
I think we're in 2 or 3 or
Phase
5.
of AI.
Yes, there are phases.
Okay, so if there's phases, then it means that AI is measurable.
So you don't know what phase we're in?
No, I'm asking, are we saying that AI is
I just
measurable?
asked you a question. Just answer it. Say, if I don't know, I don't know. Smart people who humble say I don't know.
No,
that.
if you no. I will say that I don't know, but if you're telling me there's a way to know, then you're also telling me that people do know that
Yes.
AI has a limit because it has phases, which means that it has ranges, which means that that's measurable, which means that they also know that
Again, here's
It's
my
so
thing.
smart
Since
and
you
deadly. I
don't,
love her.
since you don't know the phases, I'll educate you. This is called narrow.
You can please tell me the phases. I would love to
Right.
know.
So right
Confirm
now,
what
this
I've
is the
been
reason
saying.
why. This is the reason why it can't manipulate you. Number one, it's not conscious. It's not a sentient. It has no soul. It is a software. It is a software created by human beings at the end of the day that just understands how to learn, kind of similar like human beings, right? It's a tool. It's a machine built off of two things: data and patterns. We're in a phase called narrow AI and generative AI. Narrow meaning some of the AIs like Siri, Alexa can only do one thing. As I would say when I'm talking to high school students, we have computers that can see, hear, and learn. But here's the thing about the generative AI. There's no such thing as a computer that's not conscious manipulating you. What it is that you don't know how to properly talk to. We call it prompt engineering. You don't know how to talk to the tool.
Right.
So when we have a lot of uneducated people who don't understand the purpose of the tool and then how to properly talk to the tool, then you get the shit hallucinating because now you leave at no point. It's going to start to figure it out through the data, and it can say anything based off of your vague talking.
100%. I'm so glad we are on the same page. I've been saying that.
So I got a question for you then.
From the quantum physics realm. Go ahead.
So basically at the rate that we're progressing with AI, 1,000 years from now, you don't think that AI is going to have a form of consciousness?
Wait,
No.
I am rich.
It can't. It has to be programmed to even do so.
In order for it to become conscious, it has to have a spirit within it.
No, it has to have a program.
But that's your whoa. That's your understanding of what consciousness is. Science doesn't understand
my understanding of consciousness. My understanding of consciousness outside of the modern science, I don't even subscribe to modern science. But listen, here's the thing about it: 1,000 years from now, we don't even need 1,000 years. The next phase is artificial general intelligence, and that's when literally at the end of the day, it does everything all at one time and doesn't need human guidance to do it.
That's gonna be scary, right?
Yeah, but if you
what I'm saying though, here's a better example. Here's a better example. At what point, because we're going to have, what is it going to be, androids, where you mix technology and organic humans, right? At what point are you no longer human? Is it 90% machine, 10%? I mean, at what point are you no longer human?
You are no longer human when you no longer have sentience of certain things. Actually, no one knows when you're no longer human.
My thing about
we had the bionic man on TV back in the day when I was a little girl. He had, he was the bionic man. Go look it up. It was a show called Bionic.
No, but
let's really evaluate this, right?
Watch
So
this. Let me just say this. I could care less, right? Because I'm not the elites, right? You sound like you're an elite person, probably making $1 million a month. That's dope. I'm not. I'm concerned about generative AI, how I integrate it into my everyday life, so I can leverage the smart motherfucker to be able to accomplish my goals in a shorter period of time. All the other tech jargons, I'll leave that to guys like you that are the elite.
But if you have, check this out. If you have an antichrist, what is that? The opposite of what Christ was? No. Listen. If you have an antichrist, that's the opposite of what Christ was. The deity, the spirit within.
Are you
okay? All right. Y'all a bunch of children.
Hold on. I am. Let's hear him out. Let's hear this different perspective.
Y'all a bunch of
Let's just hear it
children.
out real quick. Danny, we got you, brother. We got you around here. We're open to new ideas around here. Now we might talk about it, but we're gonna let you at least get it out, though, bro. So go ahead. You got it, bro.
If you have an antichrist spirit, what is that? What is that? The opposite of what
Antichrist
he
spirit?
came.
Hold on, I'm just
Okay,
asking.
all right.
Let me
Yeah,
just make sure I
Just
heard
let
it
him go.
correct.
All right.
Antichrist
Thank you.
spirit.
Thank you for the platform. Y'all are some adults up in here.
Calm down.
No, I'm just trying to
No,
ask
come
you.
on,
You
man.
said
Just
Antichrist
don't
spirit. Like we're
let
trying
him
to
say
figure
what
out.
he's
You
gonna
mean?
say.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You
Let
mean?
him
You
let
mean?
him get
Let you get it. We gonna
Like
No,
in front of
no.
you?
What I mean
Speed.
is just shut the
Let him
fuck
get
up. Let
off
me
the
talk.
tarmac.
calm
Let
down,
him get
baby.
off the
Calm down.
tarmac.
We gonna let
Okay,
you get
I
it.
mean,
We gonna let you get it. Just
if we can't ask questions to clarify so we can follow, do you just want us to be lost while you talk?
The first
Not
sentence.
in the middle of
Danny, just focus.
I didn't even
Danny,
get my
stop.
first two
Danny,
sentences
Danny,
out.
just
I just
focus.
had a
Go
quick
ahead,
question,
Danny.
but go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
Just
But just get your statement out without
we go
asking
wait to the end.
questions.
Well,
Go ahead.
even if I ask a question, I'm just trying to stir your mind.
Dan,
So let me finish my.
And
let
you
me
did,
land
and
my
then you
plane.
yelled at me. But go ahead.
See,
Get your preface out.
You just can't.
Do your
You just
preface.
cannot keep your mouth shut,
Come on, Danny.
and that's crazy.
Focus. Stop worrying
That's
about the
crazy.
beautiful lady. Just focus.
I'll be watching a football game, and I can't even enjoy that shit. I
What do you
guarantee you.
believe, Danny? What do you
I mean,
believe,
you
Danny?
could.
State that.
Let's go.
All right, so check this out. So, we're at tier one. Tier one with the AI, right? It's going to increase and get even more advanced, right? And in the end days, the most elect of us that believe, the believers are going to be deceived, right? And if AI is going to play a part in that, right? So what we're looking at right now, it doesn't need a spirit or anything like that, right? Because the technology came here to deceive the elect. Because the things that we see with our eyes, we won't be able to tell what's real and what's not. And that's why, look, like the Antichrist spirit is going to be the opposite of what Christ was when he came to the earth. He was full of he was God in deity, right? So it's going to be the opposite, right? It's going to be fake. He doesn't. The Antichrist doesn't need a soul to deceive, right? He's going to use the things of this world, which is
You're saying that
the technology that is advanced over the years, right? Tell me I'm wrong.
like social media. You're saying that the
I'm not
Antichrist.
gonna tell you anything other than I don't agree with nothing you said.
Well, I'm rocking with what he's saying. I can get that because number one, he needed a soul from the first place to infiltrate. So now the best way to get to souls is the way that the world is moving, the videos that they see, the news and the information that they get.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you control their minds, then you control their hearts and their souls.
That's
so I
good.
can see the devil rolling over into that arena of life. Because even in the Bible, it said he was at the church meetings. He was there more so than the people that claim they believed.
He was at the crucifixion. He was at the crucifixion.
Let's talk about the real
In order
devil.
to get you, I got to know something about you. I just
Let's
can't
talk about the real devil.
What if consciousness is
The real devil is not no spook that y'all think about that the
I'm
Bible
gonna
is.
mute my
It's a
mic
human
because I
being,
don't get
right?
down with none of that.
So I don't
feel you.
understand why you religious people always talk about some spook you ain't never seen before, a guy that's in the sky. Everything in America and the world is created by human beings. Even this AI is created by human thought. Cars are created by humans. I've never seen some spook come out the sky creating
We're
anything.
talking
Y'all
about
crazy to me talking about some devil. Like,
We're
see, that's that
talking about
Hollywood
human
stuff.
beings'
No,
spirit.
Jesus is not religion.
Jesus Christ is religion, man. Have you ever seen him?
No.
okay?
Have
You
you ever
have
seen
to
him?
understand though. You
Lucifer was
have
the
to.
most beautiful.
There is no
angel.
Lucifer. There is no Lucifer, bro.
He was the most beautiful. That's why
But
you're
here's what
deceived.
you
And
have
see,
to
you know,
understand.
and
If
here's
you
the
don't,
asinine thing about Black Americans in
if
America.
you
Y'all
don't
still
understand the
continue to listen to
purpose.
these white folks talk about the same religion that they use to oppress people in 2025. That's got to be the most
Right.
insane
Hold
shit.
on. You have
See,
to
you know,
understand.
and
If
here's
you
the
don't, and here's what you're not understanding. The part about being religion, which is why CTO
talk about
this, there is because it is known that there's an aspect of the human consciousness that has a moral fiber to it, and it can be moved and it can be manipulated. It is literally how we congregate and ostracize ourselves from each other. This is how societies were built and societies are maintained.
Do you
And
understand
we know
consciousness?
that to be a case.
So
Jesus
why
was
is
not a
how
pale
would you-
face. So
there
who
is no
am I
there is no
following?
person who understands consciousness.
My point to you,
So
my point to
I
you,
haven't
Danny, is
finished my
this.
point, and then you can definitely make yours. So my point is that when we're talking about whether or not that realm exists, it does. We know that. That's why we
It
have so many
doesn't.
different
Prove it.
aspects in it.
Prove
It
it.
does. Literally,
Alexis,
the
prove
fact that things exist
Prove
around
it.
it. Hold on. Okay.
I
Do
just
you
want you to
understand
prove it.
do you understand quantum
Yes,
physics?
I do understand quantum physics. I do
Okay,
the study
okay.
of how quantum actually behaves.
So
That
let
is
me
not
ask you this.
spiritual.
Let me ask you this.
What is quantum?
If I can measure things
Tell me what
around,
tell me what
hold
quanta
on.
is.
Hold on.
No,
If I
You
can-
threw the name
no,
out there. I
Rich,
wanna
I'm
know-
finishing my
tell
question.
me what quanta is.
Let me
though.
finish my question. Let me
You don't
finish
know
my
what you're talking
question.
about.
No, that's
Go ahead.
Do I have to have an
Oh,
object?
Lord Jesus.
Do I have to have an object
That's making me
itself in
dizzy.
order to be?
That's cool.
Hold on.
I'm
If
not
I
dizzy
can
whatsoever.
measure around an object, if I can
It's
measure
like the
around
Twilight
an
Zone.
object, if I can measure around an object, can I not define what's on the inside just by measuring around it? Even if I don't understand the contents within it, if I have metrics I can take around it to define it, I can still label that. Yes or no?
So again, my question to you is,
What
where's
are
the
we
spirit
talking
at?
about now? Really,
We're
what are we
talking about the
about?
spiritual world that these Christians
Talking
about the spiritual world that these Christians talk about.
So let's
Lucifer,
talk
like
about
he's
let's
a
talk
real.
about
Hold
let's
on,
talk about a
Cynthia.
space.
She's
Let's talk
talking
about a
about the
space.
devil, right? The devil is real. Where is he at? Where is this
Let's
Jesus?
talk
Where
about
is he at? They
Hold on,
talk
hold
about
on, yeah,
this.
hold on. Rich,
You know what
Rich.
this sounds like?
Hold on,
It
Rich,
sounds
you gotta
like
let
an
her get in,
upside
though,
down
Rich.
world.
Hold on. Let's
Rich,
talk
Rich.
about
Hold on a
Yeah.
sec,
let's talk
though.
about
Y'all
space.
gotta have a
She just
gotta
want to
have a
continue to
good back and
ramble. She
forth.
doesn't want to answer
No,
questions.
you're not
She's good,
listening,
man.
and you're
She's
talking
good.
while
I
I'm
mean,
She's
why
talking.
is she
Rich.
good? Because she a black female?
No,
you just
she's
have
highly
misogyny that's
intelligent, bro.
blocking
No, she's
your
not
head.
highly intelligent. She
Yes, she
really
is.
ain't.
You're a little angry.
Bro, listen,
You're a
she
little
can't even
angry.
define.
If you can
Okay, how
Ask her to
about this?
define
stop talking.
quantum.
Okay, I am Rich. She's more intelligent than me. That's why.
You're a
Can you
little
please
angry.
stop
And she's
talking?
not intelligent, dude. Don't say that, Conscious. 'Cause
If
I've heard
you
you before,
can't
Conscious.
listen, I know
Conscious,
you
I've
haven't
heard
been
you
doing
before,
because
dude.
you've
You's
been
a sharp
talking.
brother.
There's no way for you to know or not know.
You just a
So
loud
I'd
black
rather you
woman that
hush
wants
and
to
hear
talk. You're
first before
rambling.
you make
You're
a
yapping.
blanket statement about something that you cannot confirm nor deny. Because your
Again, like I
ass was
said again, you
talking
haven't proved
and
anything.
you couldn't hear anything that was
You
being
made a
said.
statement about quantum physics.
I'm
I
about
want you
to
to define
elaborate
quanta.
when you're quiet.
Rich.
And define quanta.
Is a blue jay blue or red?
I will
I don't know.
elaborate
You
when
tell
you're
me. That's
quiet.
subjective too.
Great debate, y'all. This
I mean, a dog, man. Listen, if you colorblind, it's not blue. Colorblind is real, right, Danny?
Hey, you
All right,
don't
Danny.
want to go down the rabbit hole.
So
I mean,
quantum
Danny,
physics.
I'll
you
put
don't want to go.
you up on
I
game,
want to
my
go
brother.
down the rabbit hole because what I've
And
done
let's
for
go
many
and
years
hush.
is
So
I've
hush
made
and
these
follow
Christians
and follow,
understand
follow,
there is
follow.
no upside
So when
down
we're
world
talking
like
about
Stranger Things.
about
There is no devil sitting up in the sky under the ground. See, that's that BS y'all
so
been
I have
pushing
a
for
bottle of water,
years.
right? I have a
The
bottle of
devil
water.
is sitting next to you right now.
If
The
you could
devil.
just mute them
Oh,
too,
where did
and
the
I'll
concept
explain
of the
for the
word devil
class.
come from, Danny?
You calling me the
I'll
devil?
explain for the
Hey,
class.
hey, devil, that's conscious over here.
So,
Why
conscious.
you gonna do that, Danny?
I got like 5 seconds, and I'll
Hey,
explain
Danny.
for the
So
class.
explain to me where
Hold on,
this
Rich. Hold on.
Satan
She
is.
said she got 5
I'm
seconds.
explaining.
She's a liar. She's
So
just
I
using
had
that
this
to
bottle
change.
of
But go
water,
ahead,
right?
Mike.
The devil
I had
showed
this
up
bottle
before
of
you were
water.
born.
Hold on a
Before
second.
The
I
devil
knew,
showed up before you were
okay,
born.
Hold
He
on,
was
Danny.
waiting
okay,
for you.
so
Because look,
let
it's 2
me
against 1.
let me show you. Let me tell you this. I have this bottle of water. Now I don't need to know. I don't need to know necessarily what makes up water on the inside to be able to measure around it and see that it's being held. I may not know what it is yet, but I do know that it's confined and I can make metrics off of it around it, like its weight potentially, how it may move potentially due to how it moves in here, how fast it may move, how slow it may move. If it breaks up when it does move, I can see that and I can measure those things because I know what this is and I can measure around it. So if I have the things like social media, when I have religion, those things that I may not know what makes
Come
up
on,
an
land your
emotional
plane, sweetie.
appeal or
Land your
or
plane
the
now.
capacity of the consciousness
I'm
to
your
be
gracious almighty.
to be manipulated by images or by stories or by legends. I may not know what that metric is, but I do know that those metrics work to move it.
This
Period.
ain't Harry
prove-
Potter. This ain't Harry
Again,
Potter.
so here's my thing. Prove
That was a
Satan
good
exists. Prove these demons exist, and prove that there's a kingdom that they call the kingdom of heaven that Paul says
I don't
is the
have
third
to.
heaven.
Okay, Rich, I'm about to blow your mind even more. They truly
want
don't
you to
even
prove
have
that.
to. They truly don't even have to exist.
Okay, so if
Hold
you
on,
say
hold on,
if you
Rich.
say they don't exist,
Rich, they don't even have to truly exist. I just know that I have a space that I can put that there, and I don't even have to. It doesn't even have to be
that's
right.
not what I'm talking.
But
That's
it
not.
fits.
And here's
It
the thing
fits,
about it.
right?
No,
if I say there's an angel, and that's also something I can't prove. If I say it's a demon, that's also something I can't prove. But what I am proving is that it's a space there that has capacity for that belief to exist.
No, it
period.
doesn't. No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
it does.
So, okay, so watch this. I'm gonna say
Exactly
this.
how it
Now-
works.
Now, here's the thing about it. Prove.
confused.
I want you to
Exactly.
prove.
I'm really
I want you to prove to me. This is what I'm asking for, and I've been doing this for like 30 years, right? Prove to me that this demon exists. Where is it? Where's the documentation, the evidence that humans operate off of 5 senses, not the bullshit you talking about? Because we all know that Christianity bullshit is not helping nobody. If it is, why are you in poverty? If you is, why
Explain exorcisms. Then explain exorcisms.
Exorcisms? When the
The
last
only
time
way
you was at an
I could be
exorcism?
able to tell you
Danny,
that it exists.
When's the last time you was at an exorcism? And
You
really,
said 30.
psycho-
You said 30 years. Like you
When's
ain't.
the last
you ain't
time you was at an
42?
exorcism?
What are you 42?
So the only way that
When's the
I
last time
the only way that I
When's
can
the last time you
documented.
was at an exorcism?
the only
They're
way that I can
documented.
the only way that I
About
can
what?
tell
Who
you. Hold
documented it?
on, Rich.
Have you
The
ever
only
been
way-
Vatican.
by
Bradley.
the oh shit,
Hold on,
by
hold
the
on, hold
Vatican?
on.
That's a
Hold on.
psychological situation going on when they documented it.
Hold on.
Power of
Hold on.
Christ
It's a
compels you.
hold on, hey, Alexis, you done talked a lot now. Come on, everybody.
I'm
it's a lot
trying
of
to
folks
answer
on.
your question.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Danny now, because Danny's the Christian.
I'm a
He
Christian
came on
too.
here with the Antichrist situation.
I'm a
I'm a
Christian
I'm
as
a
well.
sinful Christian.
So
you
Danny,
don't want to talk to a sinful Christian. Let's
listen,
go.
I
Let's
want to
go.
talk to you, Danny, because you came
Let's
on here pushing
go.
the Antichrist BS, right?
Let's
so where's the Satan?
go.
And
Where's the
Let's go.
Satan at right now?
Where's what? What? Say again?
Where is Satan right now?
He's next
here.
to you. He's right next to you.
No,
Why
he's
does, he
not.
have to, why does he have to be
He's
a he?
omniscient.
Why does he have to be a he?
Because it doesn't matter.
See, she said it doesn't matter.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
No, stop that BS. Y'all
But
Christians,
if
man,
a Christ
pushing this
exists,
narrative.
Because Lucifer was a man.
if a
Lucifer
Christ
was a man
exists,
based off of what documentation?
if
Was
I
Jesus
believe
a
a
man?
Christ exists in a certain
Was
realm,
Jesus
Jesus
a
then
man?
Christ
also,
doesn't exist.
then also
What?
the opposite would have to exist.
Jesus Christ doesn't exist, Danny.
See, he does. He was documented by 500 eyewitnesses to rose from the grave.
You talking about the historical one that Josephus, y'all say Tacitus and all those talk about?
sound like
That's not the
How come
regular.
how come when they went to the tomb, how come it was empty? Why was
How
the
do you
tomb
know they
empty?
went to the tomb though?
Because it was documented.
By who? When was it documented?
Documented by the Roman government.
The Roman government documented that they saw Jesus resurrect from the tomb.
100 people.
Okay, 500 people drafted it out, right? They wrote it down and said that. Where's that? Where's
Yes.
that literature? Where's the literature?
In the Dead Sea Scrolls.
It's the Dead. You're a liar. The Dead Sea Scrolls wasn't written by the 500 people. Stop that, bro.
That's not what I said. I said
exactly what you said.
I said
where
it's in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The mention of the 500 witnesses is in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
So the mission. Okay, so who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls?
So can I?
Various eyewitnesses.
Who was the various eyewitnesses?
Let's see.
Why was the rock removed?
Luke, John.
Why was the rock removed?
Luke didn't write nothing. Stop that.
Why was the rock removed from the tomb?
Paul.
Because
you needed a story about the creator.
You went from the New Testament all the way back to the Old Testament with Paul.
Hey man, I appreciate you too, man.
Take care, brother.
Man, you VIP over here.
Happy
bro.
New Year's, man. Get drunk.
the rock was removed because you have to remove the rock from your eyes.
Danny, for the fact that you believe in this foolishness that white people like you put to, and they still do it to this day, is
How did the Ethiopians get their hands on it if it was invented by white people?
how did the Ethiopians get handled what?
Ethiopian Bible.
The Ethiopian Bible was written just like all these other books by men, dude.
Who were the first?
But you
Who were
said
the
white
first people that saw Jesus?
Brother, when we
resurrected from
talk
the dead?
Christianity in America, we don't talk Ethiopia. When they talk Christianity in America, because I know a bunch of bishops down south, all they talk about is church fathers and the Protestant.
They talk about, but they all talk
So-
about the
so
same
here's my
man,
thing.
Jesus
White
Christ,
people-
who hopped
white-
up on
listen,
who hopped
it's
on
a
the cross
religion
and
that white
unalived for
people
humanity's
created.
sins.
Danny,
It
listen.
all revolves around the same man and the same thing that he did.
When y'all talk Christianity, y'all talk church fathers and Protestant Reformation. That's all European bullshit.
No, we talk about
Yes, you
Jesus
do.
Christ and the
Yes, you
sacrifice
do.
that he made for humanity.
And it's
That's what we talk about.
It's about 1,000 different denominations, oneness, Trinitarian. I don't know if you believe in the baptism. Y'all so fucking confused. Charles, listen, goddamn Stevie Wonder be stripping out on y'all. Y'all don't know who the fuck to believe in.
Oh no, he's not blind. He's not
No,
blind.
we
He's not blind.
believe in Jesus Christ.
He's been lying all his life. He's been lying all his life, and y'all need to fucking wake the fuck up.
I've never seen one of you Christians have a delightful conversation that was peaceful.
Who were the
on
first
this
people
app
that
and even
saw
around
Jesus
the country.
resurrected?
I don't believe
You can't you can't say that when it comes to a man that has done so much and loves us so much. Like I'll give you an example. You ain't gonna let nobody talk shit about your mama because you love your mama, right? And your mama loves you, right? So it's the same type of relationship we have with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a milestone, an important figure in all of our lives. We're not going to allow, as a Christian, we're not going to allow you to talk shit about him. We're not.
Delusional. I know you ain't. But watch this. Go ahead.
Your bedroom. I just want to say this real quick. I usually don't get into these type of discussions because I think that religion is like your bedroom. You should have your business. What you do in your bedroom is your business. But I appreciate y'all with the argument. I'm learning. Hold on. Especially about the 500 witnesses. I've never heard that one. It was 500
It would have
witnesses.
been all right if Danny came in here with
It was 500 witnesses that witnessed.
Here's the thing.
Sylvia was trying to say something.
I'm trying
no
to figure out how
Mormon,
the Mormon in the wig, Bradley, his son. Because that's what he's a Mormon, and he's not of the original. He's not of the original Mormon.
Neither are the Baptists, neither are the Lutherans, neither are the Presbyterians. What's your point?
Wait, is he a Mormon?
Those men in wigs. So he's of this other new Mormon type faith that accepts everybody. You know, very liberal. Why
You've been listening to Sweet Peaches for too much.
Why he's over here with all these conservative viewpoints and shit, you know, and he ought to be happy accepted by, anybody, I keep trying
He's accepted by Jesus Christ. That's the best thing to be accepted by. The best person.
Okay, so if Bradley.
Hold on, Bradley.
If Bradley.
Chapter 3, John chapter 3, verse 16. Those who believe in me shall have life everlasting.
He's a preacher. Go ahead and preach, brother.
If you don't pull that microphone out your vocal,
You first, Conscious. You first.
Hey, Conscious, you know what I hear? I hear this, like the Baptist. If you don't understand the Lord Jesus, in the name of Jesus, see, I'm telling you, I was saved and sanctified. That's what I get from you, Bradley. You know I'm from Alabama, boy. My folks is. Hey, Bradley, I respect. Hey, Bradley, let me say this, bro. If you believe, I respect you on that. But I just know that y'all delusional, dog.
No, but we live in a time.
We're not delusional. I mean, if you
the preachers that we grew up. The preachers that we're growing up with right now, they're all swindling the system, right?
Hold on.
That's true. You understand that shit, right?
Man,
That's
y'all
true.
since you brought slaves over here in the name of Jesus. Y'all think y'all just
No. Those are false Christians. No.
Hold on a sec. We got another young lady in the building. How you doing, White Rose?
Hi, hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Go ahead, get in real quick.
All right, so Bradley, are you actually a Mormon?
I'm not a Latter-day Saint, but yes, I am a Mormon.
Holy shit, you go out of your way to be a part of groups that fucking hate your existence.
I'm not a Latter-day Saint, so that doesn't apply to me. Thank you.
the Mormons didn't believe that black people should be allowed in heaven until like 1970.
Latter-day Saint, the Latter-day Saints did, but I'm not a Latter-day Saint. I'm a Community of Christ member. We never believed that. Next, wrong
Stop
church.
yelling at us. Stop yelling at us. Take that shit out your mouth.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Bradley.
He's a
At the end
truck
of the
driver,
day,
so he's probably
he's a truck driver. Oh, you in a
Had to
semi?
say
What
it
you
out the
hauling, man?
window.
You a van, reefer, or a flatbed?
Dry van.
You a company driver or owner op? Or at least a
Company.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, man. Listen, you're an essential person. I love y'all. Hopefully, y'all going through some shit right now. because I
He's
see
riding
all
with
these-
Lucifer right now.
No, I mean, no. I'm being serious. Like, there's so many accidents right now, and I see what's going on the road, man. Listen, at the end of the day, man, be safe out there.
No, he was saying
Your brother, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
he's
Yes,
full
sir.
of shit. He's full of shit. Hey, no, let's get let's
Wait a minute. How am I full of shit?
No, he was saying Rich is full of shit.
No, actually, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Me and my brother run a transportation company, and then my family all came up in logistics and transportation, so I already know exactly. Like, just a friend of mine just actually had a brain, what they call it,
Brain aneurysm.
A brain aneurysm on 285 just a couple of days ago, right there in Atlanta. Yeah, brother, I know from Columbia, Georgia. He's a veteran from the Air Force, so I've been around trucking all my life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm serious about that.
Kind of a
If he passes away, is he going to go to heaven?
Brother, right now I'm on a serious.
If he believes in Jesus Christ and he believes that he unalived for his sins.
I will say he's on a ventilator right now, and you know what I'm saying. So the situation is really sensitive. With
So are
him.
you preaching the word to him? Are you letting him know that Jesus is the way and the truth and the life?
Let's not be joking.
Yeah, I think Danny, you're being sarcastic.
Well, hold on.
No, not really. Actually, there's only one way.
Right now, then.
And he told us that, right? Am I wrong?
Well,
Like, hey,
But weren't you the one that didn't even believe that he rose from the grave?
Y'all pray for us
who, me?
right now. Well, then give a little prayer for us.
Who, me?
One of y'all said that.
Shouldn't both of y'all be praying for us, man, right now? If y'all really, the people you say.
Of course.
Well, then give a little prayer for us.
Like
friend.
prayer. I thought it was prayer.
I tend, me personally, the type, when I pray, I like to pray. I take my prayers seriously, so I'm not going to pray on social media. Yes, prayer.
Well, will you
Prayer. Okay. So when I pray, I tend to do it in private spaces by myself, not with other people, and not on social media or in public.
I'm saying you can go on silence and pray for him, and we would never.
Of course.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Tell me his name.
Just say play.
His name is Brian.
Danny, come on, brother.
Brother Brian. All right. I no problem.
Thank y'all. Okay.
But
Yeah, I
Brian
think
can maybe Brian identifies as a female, so you might not want to say brother.
You identify as.
Can we not can we just not with that bullshit? Like, y'all are so fucking immature. It's crazy.
To head into Panda Express, so I'm gonna be on mute, but I'm listening.
Okay.
Oh, he going.
You go ahead and get your orange chicken. I'm gonna fucking sweeten that shit up for you.
Man, I don't do orange chicken. I do teriyaki chicken. But go ahead.
Yeah, same name.
It's about 11. So.
Someone
Hey,
scratch
Conti.
you. I'll scratch you, bro.
I gotta see you on YouTube, Conti. Are you on YouTube, Conti?
Yeah, same name.
Okay, definitely. I definitely got to plug in and subscribe to you. I love your content.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Same here, man. And you know what? I think we got to do a show because you've been giving me some financial literacy that I didn't know. So I think
Our black
kind of be
people
vital,
how you came,
especially the youngsters, bro. So I'm gonna try and DM you in the next couple of weeks. Maybe we can do like an hour black where you just talking how you came up for real.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not a problem. I just
If you're gonna, I'm sorry.
Teaching.
Go ahead. You go.
No, so say if you're gonna do that, we should do civics too and let me teach it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should start doing that, like teaching a TED talk, a Khan talks. Conscious more on Kanju.
You really got a great platform that you attract a diverse group of people, and I don't mind. I talk foundational, fundamental things, and I think it's important in this season that in addition to having fun and doing the janking, that we do provide a certain. Even right now, I'm not just doing financial literacy. Right now, I'm big heavy on AI literacy. So I'm really talking to people in their late 40s and early 60s. That's my target audience, because I know a lot of those people don't really understand the machine. And a lot of them are just freaking out. You know, a lot of them came from the industrial age. So this is a whole new era Me and my brother right now is actually putting together a new retirement plan because the old retirement plan is not going to work in the season.
Right.
You know, and during the industrial age, you stay at a job for 40 years. You know, you had your 401k, a whole new curriculum. Well, not really curriculum, it's just a thing that he's formatting for navigating through the digital space and how we can retire faster now. We can retire more quicker because of technology. And so I thought when he brought it to me, I thought it was really nice. I thought that was nice to help people. So.
That is dope. Let me ask you a question. Which one of y'all got each other into the field? Was it you who got him into this, or he got you into this?
My brother got me into it. I am not the smart one in the family. I'm big on connecting, communicating. So my gift is building networks. So I have a network that's deep and vast. My brother, on the other hand, he's the financial guy, and then he brought me in. But for me, once I grab a hold of it, once I learn it, me being able to because I speak too. So being able to share, I take complex shit and I make it simple. That's why he brought me in.
Right. But
because he'll talk in a way that it will. Most of my family from down in Alabama won't understand the hell he's saying.
Right. But you can break it down and make it understand. I get what you're saying. Yeah, so we definitely need that.
So question for you. I'm 30 for the financial person. I'm sorry, I can't read your name.
I am rich.
Hi. So I'm 37 and I'm like really in debt. Can you help me get rid of my debt and like just get rid of it? I don't want to pay any of it though.
She don't want to pay any of it.
I don't want to pay any of it. I just want it gone.
That's one. Now, I'm not saying there are ways. Now that's what I don't do. I'm not going to cheat code ways around getting out of debt. I want you to understand that you got to be great at managing money. And one of the things that I talk about is the foundation to becoming wise with your money. I wouldn't be able to help you with that. I got a friend of mine.
I was just really kidding, honestly.
Oh, you bullshit. Oh, okay.
I want to pay it.
No, I was just like, I am in a lot of debt, but I was just being funny. I know I have to figure it out eventually.
Is it good? Is it good debt or bad debt?
So it's going to be like mostly student loans, which they're going to start garnishing soon, and then it is some credit cards.
I'm about to hit this lick on.
I got in trouble with. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we about to hit this number. We about to hit this lick on TikTok. We all gonna be rich.
Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm also a simple dude, so I ain't trying to get rich. I'll just
comfortable. How about comfortable?
Yeah. Now you can be conscious. I can see you being wealthy. Like I could see you really making like 10, like eight figures, being out here as a public. You got the influence. You got the look, actually.
Thank you, man. I appreciate.
And then you got some of the women that be on here.
And he's got the voice. I'm out here raking leaves in my yard, so I'm listening to him. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, wow, if this is a podcast, he has a nice podcast voice. And you and him talking back and forth is like an interview. And you sounding real cool too. The way you coming across on the answering of the questions and all. So y'all ought to do something like that. Get a podcast. I'm gonna go to your YouTube.
We are.
Yeah, I'm going to your YouTube today.
It always sounds nasally to me.
Yeah, your voice, man. People pay for that. Your voice.
Radio. Yeah.
It always sounds.
But you can use your voice for your own self.
Exactly.
Well, that's how it sounds to you. Nobody ever likes the way they sound, so you have to listen to other people and not
all right,
yourself.
man. Appreciate you.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I'm gonna head on. I gotta run into this vitamin store real quick and get these supplements, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Sylvia White.
I'm gonna try.
All the other 11 on here. Happy holidays to you. I'll be back on you. I don't know if you're gonna do it tomorrow, but I'll probably be.
We might try. I'm gonna try. I might try to come back tonight. But I definitely every time I go live, I definitely
Miss Sylvia. Thank you, White Rose.
I got you, man. Appreciate you allowing me to be on your platform too, my brother.
Appreciate y'all. All right, y'all.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Miss Sylvia. Thank you, White Rose. And thank you to all the amazing guests that we had. All the people who tapped and shared and liked the video. The live.
Catch you later.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the hammer. Rocky with the Under the Sea. Let's go.